Chapter 501 Ancestral Bloodline is nothing great. With a loud bang, Lin Moyu's axe collided with Tatar's two-handed sword. The air vibrated violently, and the space was slightly distorted. Lin Moyu flew out backwards. He was completely defeated in terms of strength. Lin Moyu was not surprised, even if he used the gathering power skill, but after all, he was only level 53, and the upper limit was only 1 million strength. The opponent is an level 88 ancestral bloodline dragon race knight, and the total attributes are a little stronger than himself. The opponent's profession determines that the attributes cannot be balanced, and the two attributes of strength and physique must be higher, more than 1 million. It may have reached 1.2 million, or even 1.3 million. In addition, it activated the ancestral bloodline at this time, and the iron scale python under it had the same aura, so it was normal for him to be knocked away. If the violent slaughter skill was still there, the one who flew out would definitely be the opponent. But now, 10. Lin Mo roughly understood the opponent's strength. The opponent's power should be very close to the Dragon King level. Just close, not yet reached. Not yet able to possess some of the characteristics of the Dragon King. Such an opponent is not difficult to deal with. You are dead. With an excited roar, Tatar instantly caught up with Lin Mo, who was flying backward. The two fought again. Although Lin Mo's strength was not as good as his opponent, his combat skills were not bad. Without head-on collisions, Lin Mo had enough ability to entangle with it. Rarely encountering a comparable opponent, Lin Mo was also excited to fight. Until tens of seconds later, the effect of the power-gathering skill faded, Lin Mo quickly retreated, and put a layer of bone armor on himself. Tatar flashed to catch up, but before he could attack, he suddenly exploded. At the same time, dense arrows fell on his body, making a dense clanging sound. The undead 053 Legion took action, and Tatar's attack was immediately interrupted. It saw that there was no panic on Lin Mo's face, but a smile. It was a contemptuous smile. Tatar felt that he was being underestimated, and was extremely angry. When had the proud been underestimated? Dare to underestimate me, I will kill you. Lin Mo always knew that the Dragon Clan's brains were not very good, but he didn't expect that the ancestral bloodline Dragon Clan was not very good either. Tatar's attack intensity was a little worse than the previous formation. A guy who is not even at the pseudo-god level is far from wanting to kill himself. Not to mention killing, even if he stood and let him hit, he wouldn't be able to hurt himself. Damage transfer and the Lich General's healing are not decorations. Doesn't this guy understand? Lin Mo felt strange, and pointed his finger casually. Skill, Curse of Aging. Skill, Toxic Starburst. Exploding on his body at the same time, Tatar suddenly stagnated, and the curse slowed his speed down. The change of rhythm made him very uncomfortable. A huge amount of energy gushed out from the body, obliterating the curse. The Dragon Clan is naturally resistant to curses, and coupled with its level being far higher than Lin Mo, the curse will be wiped out in a few seconds. But a few seconds is enough for Lin Mo to kill it. CJAI Tatar did not notice that during the time he and Lin Mo fought before, the Undead Legion had surrounded him. At this time, Lin Mo's move was a sure kill. The six-color light flashed, and a raging fire suddenly rose on Tatar's body, and at the same time, lightning poured down from the top of his head, smashing down like a storm. What is this? Tatar was stunned. Where did the attack come from? Why was his body on fire, and what was the lightning on his head? Although the damage was not great, the constant burning and the paralysis caused by the lightning made it very uncomfortable. Aura appeared under the feet of the Undead Legion, which was colorful and extremely beautiful. The skeleton berserker was already fast enough, but now with the blessing of the aura, it was 3 points faster than before. Quickly surrounded Tatar. With Lin Mo's complete preparation, he completed all this almost in the blink of an eye. The kill begins. Lin Mo treated it as a world-class boss, which was already a very high standard of treatment. After all, its vitality is far inferior to that of a world boss. On the back of his left hand, the soldier character was activated. The strong soldier skill immediately broke out. Tashir, who was standing in the back, shouted loudly, "Be careful, he has activated the origin rune." Tatar laughed wildly. This dragon also has the origin rune. The back of its hand also bloomed with light. Lin Mo was slightly stunned. He didn't expect that the other party also had the origin rune. Think about it, every 100 years, 9 origin runes appear. Not only can the human race obtain it, but demons and dragons can also obtain it. So, it is normal for it to have the origin rune. Lin Mo did not know the effect of the other party's origin rune. This is the other party's secret, and will not tell outsiders. It is estimated that even its younger brother Tashir would not know. Tatar activated the origin rune, his whole body was dazzling, and his body suddenly became larger. Originally, it was about 3 meters tall, which was already very tall compared to the human race. But now, his height has reached 30 meters. Not only did it become bigger, but even the iron scale python under its feet became bigger. The iron scale python is now more than 200 meters long, and has also increased tenfold. Tatar laughed wildly. This dragon's body has increased tenfold, and its attack power has also increased tenfold. What do you use to fight this dragon? Just rely on these bone racks, useless things. Lin Mo still underestimated the other party's wisdom, it actually said its skills. This head, hopeless. Lin Mo was too lazy to say half a sentence more. The skeleton berserkers burst out with skills one after another, and the axes hit down head-on. Before, its body was small, and the number of skeleton berserkers that could attack at the same time was limited. But now that its body has become so huge, the skeleton berserkers can let go of their attacks. The axe fell with the red light of the skill. Tatar brought disdain, and the two-handed sword swung out a ball of sword light, and collided with the axe of the skeleton berserker. Tatar brought wild laughter and disdain, but the laughter stopped at the moment of the collision. The power of the skeleton berserker erupted was quite amazing. Even if its attack power increased tenfold, it could only slightly win against the skeleton berserker. Only a few skeleton berserkers were shaken away, but that was all. But there are too many skeleton berserkers, densely surrounding it. It only blocked a part of the attacks, and most of the axes have fallen on it. The defense was instantly broken, and Tatar screamed again and again. Not only that, the iron scale python on its body was also attacked by the skeleton berserker, flesh and blood splashed again, and the bones were exposed. The elements roared, and there was a violent explosion. Arrows rained down, instantly piercing it into a hedgehog. Lin Mo looked in his eyes. The power and body shape have increased, but the defense has not changed. This origin rune is not very good. The skills brought by the origin rune are very strong. In the eyes of others, a mere tenfold increase in power is a very powerful skill. As the saying goes, one force can overcome 10 skills, and a tenfold attack is enough to give Tatar absolute powerful combat power. Who would care whether it would increase defense? But in Lin Mo's eyes, that's all. Lin Mo has too many summons, and the effect of the origin rune in his hands far exceeds that of other professions. For example, his strong soldier skill, when placed in the hands of other summoners, would at most increase the combat power by several times. After all, the summons under the command of ordinary summoners will not exceed 3. How can he be like him? The undead legion is like an army, and the combat power has increased by an unknown amount. Lin Mo always knew that it was not the origin rune that made his profession change sharply. But it was his profession that made the origin rune exert unimaginable power. His profession is the foundation of everything, and everything else is just the icing on the cake. 11. Impossible, this is impossible. Tatar wielded his greatsword, constantly sending skeleton berserkers flying. But that was all. Not a single skeleton berserker was killed, instead, they continuously inflicted damage upon him. The skeleton archmage and sharpshooters' ranged attacks never ceased, causing him immense pain. The iron scale serpent beneath him constantly emitted low roars, clearly in distress. Tatar had gone mad, wanting to break through and kill Lin Mo Yu. But he simply couldn't break through. Such strong vitality. Be it dragon or demon. Although their attributes weren't bad, their vitality was far inferior to that of a boss. He hadn't expected Tatar to last this long. He had originally thought he could deal a near-instant kill. Flames blazed in his hand, soul flames silently descended. Tatar suddenly let out an earth-shattering scream, almost losing his grip on the greatsword. Not only him, but the iron scale serpent also trembled and cried out. So that's how it is. The so-called ancestral bloodline, other than higher attributes, is nothing special. Lin Mo Yu understood why this guy could withstand so much. It wasn't that his vitality was strong, but that the iron scale serpent was helping him bear most of the damage. So when soul flames dealt damage to him, the iron scale serpent was also attacked. Now that he knew, there was nothing new about it. Just fight a little longer. Chapter 502 Dragon Emperor's Palm, Law God Crystal. The iron scale serpent's vitality was strong enough, which also made Tatar's vitality stronger. In addition to Tatar's own powerful attack power, and the 10x attack from the origin rune. If he hadn't encountered Lin Mo Yu, it would have been really difficult for other classes to suppress him. Now Lin Mo Yu was confident of victory, the only thing to pay attention to was not letting him escape. After all, his level was there, if he wanted to escape, it would be difficult to stop him. Similar things had happened many times. This time, Lin Mo Yu wanted to permanently leave them in this secret realm. Tatar was in a bitter battle, with no chance of winning. In addition to being angry, he finally recognized the reality. He roared, "What are you still watching for? Come and help." Tashir was now a little frightened. It wasn't that he didn't want to come, but what could he do if he came? He felt that even if he added himself, he wouldn't be Lin Mo Yu's opponent. He knew exactly how strong Tatar's combat power was. Even Tatar was beaten like this, what was the use of him going up? But Tatar was calling there, he couldn't not go. Wielding his sword, he burst out all his strength and rushed up. Lin Mo Yu discovered that his aura was much weaker than when he last saw him, it should be that the last continuous burst of ancestral bloodline had damaged him. This kind of damage cannot be easily recovered. Tashir rushed over, Lin Mo Yu just symbolically attacked a few times, letting him easily kill in. When Tashir realized there seemed to be a problem, he was already in the encirclement. Lin Mo Yu felt that dealing with the dragon race seemed to be simpler than dealing with the demon race. These guys' brains are really not very good. The strong soldier skill can only be maintained for a short time, only 30 seconds. Now there are 15 seconds left, can't delay any longer. The remaining skeleton berserkers who hadn't burst out their skills all rushed up, releasing all the remaining skills without reservation. Some of the skills were aimed at Tashir who had just arrived. At the same time, the skeleton archmage and skeleton sharpshooter focused their attacks on him. He didn't have a vitality-strong iron scale serpent to help share the damage, and he was immediately seriously injured. "No, I can't hold on," Tashir shouted in surprise. Tatar frowned, "Waste, we burst out our ancestral bloodline, kill our way out. You go first." Tashir glanced at him, why should he burst out first? He had just burst out his ancestral bloodline twice a few days ago, if he burst out again, he would damage his foundation. But he didn't dare not listen to Tatar. He had gotten used to listening for so many years. A dragon roar resounded through the sky, and a phantom of a divine dragon appeared, knocking all the skeleton berserkers away. The two relied on their ancestral bloodline to escape. Tatar shouted angrily, "This time you win, I'll kill you next time." Lin Mo Yu shook his head, "There won't be a next time." Having had the experience of Tashir escaping once, how could he allow the same mistake to happen a second time? Lin Mo Yu had already prepared the blood essence of the god of poison. The poison lich responded and came out. Seeing the green light, Tashir's face changed greatly, "Not good, this poison is too strong." Tatar also realized something, he also knew how poisonous the poison at the entrance of the secret realm was. He no longer hesitated, and burst out his ancestral bloodline at the same time. His bloodline was stronger, the phantom of the divine dragon was more solid, and the skeletons were all scattered. The two quickly fled into the distance. The two were very fast, but the poison lich was even faster. A green light flashed in the air, instantly hitting the two. Silently, the poison spread. A crystal amulet suddenly jumped out of Tatar's body, a dragon roar came from the crystal amulet, and it exploded in the air. Golden light flashed, covering the two and blocking the poison at the same time. Then a space-time channel was opened in front of the two, and a large hand reached out and grabbed the two in. But the iron scale serpent did not leave with them, it was contaminated with poison and wailed and screamed in the poison. After the large hand of the space-time channel grabbed the two brothers, the space-time channel did not disappear. An eye appeared behind, and a terrifying voice sounded, "Human, courting death." That giant hand stretched out again, and slapped towards Lin Mo Yu from afar. A giant dragon claw appeared between heaven and earth, flying towards Lin Mo Yu across a distance of several kilometers. A terrifying force swept over, and Lin Mo Yu instantly tensed up. Lin Mo Yu felt that he was locked on, and there was no way to avoid it. This palm was too strong, comparable to the Demon Emperor's finger. Lin Mo Yu realized who the owner of the giant hand was, it was the strongest existence in the dragon race, the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor not only rescued the Tatar brothers, but also wanted to kill himself. As things stood, Lin Moyu either desperately resisted, or teleported away. Whether using the Abyss teleportation stone to go to the Abyss world, or activating Antares Dragon Ball to return to the upper space, or directly using the mark of the Divine Summer Ancient City to return to the Divine Summer Ancient City, he could avoid this attack. But Lin Moyu wanted to try to see how big the gap between himself and the Dragon Emperor was. 12. If it really doesn't work, he'll just leave. Once this thought took root, it grew uncontrollably. Lin Moyu felt himself burning with passion. Since becoming a necromancer, there have only been a handful of times that Lin Moyu has been excited to fight. Even when facing the angelic spirit and the flame demon king, he remained incredibly calm. But now, he was facing the Dragon Emperor, a powerful being equivalent to a demigod. Lin Moyu was completely fired up. The Undead Legion came forward one after another, standing in front of Lin Moyu. At this moment, the strong soldiers still had 5 seconds remaining. Within these 5 seconds, the Undead Legion's attributes would increase by 200%, making them at their strongest. The Skeleton Grand Mage and Sharpshooters had already launched attacks on the giant hand. The 33 Lich Generals shielded Lin Moyu behind them, providing complete protection. Lin Moyu took out a crystal. As the crystal appeared, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled, electric snakes danced in the air, illuminating the entire secret realm. Law Crystal Lightning Mythic Grade Material, possessing the power of the lightning element law. Seeking fresh flowers. As a mythic grade material, Lin Moyu wasn't sure how strong a lich summoned with it would be. But it would definitely be stronger than the blood essence of the god of poison. This was Lin Moyu's most powerful method at the moment, besides detonating the corpse of the god of poison. The Dragon Emperor's giant hand ignored the attacks of the Skeleton Grand Mage and Sharpshooters, and charged into the Undead Legion. The first to bear the brunt were the Skeleton Berserkers. They exploded one after another under the giant hand, death upon contact. This was already within Lin Moyu's expectations. The Dragon Emperor's palm was too powerful, and the full connection talent couldn't be used effectively. Lin Moyu felt a peculiar power in this palm, somewhat similar to the Law Crystal in his hand. This is the power of Law. Lin Moyu thought in his mind, unsure. Accompanied by a burst of lightning and thunder, an elemental lich with a height of 2 meters, covered in lightning, appeared in front of Lin Moyu. Its aura was extremely chaotic, as if it would explode at any moment. The moment it appeared, a terrifying purple lightning bolt fell from the sky, heavily striking the Dragon Emperor's giant palm. The Dragon Emperor's giant palm paused, its aura actually weakened a lot. At this time, the lightning halos under the feet of the Undead Legion all turned purple, and the electric light became even brighter. Dense lightning also fell on the giant palm, constantly grinding away the power on the giant palm. The skeletons continued to die. Even though the power of the giant palm was weakened, it was still enough to instantly kill the skeletons. In the next instant, the extremely chaotic lightning lich streaked across the sky like a flash of lightning, appearing directly in front of the space-time channel as if teleporting. The poisonous gas around the space-time channel was obliterated in the lightning, with no effect on it. It plunged into the space-time channel. In Lin Moyu's mental world, the lightning lich instantly arrived at a very distant place. Then, the lightning lich exploded. Lin Moyu felt as if his mental world also lit up, and a voice of shock and anger came from the space-time channel. Although he couldn't see it with his own eyes, Lin Moyu could guess how powerful the explosion was. The aura revealed by the lightning lich just now had already far surpassed ordinary god-level powerhouses. Lin Moyu even felt that it was stronger than Meng Anwen and Bai Yiyuan. The powerful lightning transmitted back through the space-time channel, and the surrounding poisonous gas quickly dissipated in the lightning. The space-time channel was also impacted, twisted twice, and completely closed. The power of lightning could easily obliterate the poisonous gas of the god of poison, which shows how strong it was. After the lightning lich self-destructed, it had returned to its lich space, waiting for him to summon it again. As the space-time channel closed, the Dragon Emperor's palm also lost its source of follow-up power. Although it was still powerful, it was much weaker than before, and it continued to weaken. The Undead Legion gave their lives, sacrificing themselves to wear down the enormous power in the Dragon Emperor's giant palm. Finally, After paying a huge price of tens of thousands of skeleton deaths, the Dragon Emperor's giant palm, without a source of power, finally dissipated. So strong. Lin Moyu clenched his fists, he had actually blocked it. Chapter 503. Toolman Brothers, Derived Blood Pool. The Dragon Emperor's attack came across the space-time channel and had already weakened a lot. It was still not easy to resist. If it weren't for the lightning lish's self-destruction, destroying the space-time channel and cutting off its source of power, Lin Moyu estimated that he would have had to teleport to escape in the end. There would be no danger to his life. Lin Moyu knew this very well, so he dared to try it boldly. Otherwise, he would have escaped at the first moment. The loss is a bit big. Lin Moyu sighed softly. The loss of tens of thousands of skeletons directly reduced the undead legion by 1/3. The price was high, but it was worth it. Lin Moyu was experiencing the aura of a demigod-level powerhouse. This kind of opportunity was too rare. Moreover, Lin Moyu's use of the Law Crystal to summon the Lightning Lich also allowed Lin Moyu to feel that special power. The Dragon Emperor's power, the Lightning Lich's power, they had something in common. Although Lin Moyu didn't quite understand it now, he firmly remembered this feeling. Subtly, it would definitely be helpful in the future. The iron scale python had died in the poison. Its body was too large, and even the Dragon Emperor couldn't take it away. Without the iron scale python, the so-called Dragon Clan warriors with ancestral bloodlines were even less worth mentioning. Lin Moyu's goal at this time was no longer those below the god level, but to look at the god level demon kings. The level was completely different. I believe that soon I will be able to fight against demon kings and dragon kings head-on without relying on external objects. He began to summon skeletons to replenish the undead legion. At the same time, Lin Moyu sorted out his gains and losses and summarized his experience. This was what he had been doing. The experience of each battle was very valuable and could eventually be turned into a huge fortune. In the dragon realm, a palace shaped like a dragon was suspended in midair. Terrible and violent power enveloped it all year round, and dragon roars could be heard from it from time to time. It was like a huge mountain range flying into the air, making people awe-inspiring. This was the Dragon Emperor's palace, a sacred place in the minds of many dragons in the dragon realm. But just a few minutes ago, accompanied by an equally amazing and terrifying lightning bolt, accompanied by a thunderclap that resounded through the sky, a big hole was blasted out of the Dragon Emperor's palace. The location of the explosion was at the head of the palace, blasting off half of the dragon's head directly. Then came the Dragon Emperor's angry voice. Lin Moyu, this emperor will kill you. The strength of the lightning elemental Lish's explosion far exceeded Lin Moyu's imagination. As a being only half a step away from a higher god, the lightning god, after its fall, all its divine power condensed into 10 law crystals. Each law crystal contained unimaginable power. Lin Moyu used this thing to summon the elemental lich, and burst out the energy inside at once. Even the Dragon Emperor could not stop it. The Dragon Emperor's palace being blown up was a great humiliation for the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor's anger was understandable. 13. Taltar and Tashir, who had escaped unscathed, were now charred all over from the electricity. They had been caught in the blast wave just now, but fortunately the Dragon Emperor had protected them, otherwise they would have certainly died. The two of them trembled, their hearts filled with fear of Lin Moyu. If Lin Moyu had used such skills from the start, they would have been reduced to ashes long ago. A cold snort came from ahead, and the two brothers immediately knelt down neatly. They lowered their heads, not daring to look up. Taltar's pride as a descendant of an ancestral bloodline had long since vanished. Standing before them was the Dragon Emperor, the absolute authority among the dragons. This time, they had only escaped disaster thanks to the talisman given to them by the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor was still filled with anger, you two good-for-nothings. The two dared not utter a word, their heads almost touching the ground. The Dragon Emperor's gaze was cold and ruthless, you two will rest for a few days to heal your injuries, then return to the Wind and Thunder continent and regain control of the secret realm. Hearing the Dragon Emperor's words, the two shuddered simultaneously. They still had to go. If they encountered Lin Moyu again, they might really die. At this moment, a crystal amulet was thrown in front of Taltar. Take this amulet. If you encounter Lin Moyu again, activate it directly. Do you understand? Taltar took the amulet. Understood, Your Majesty. The Dragon Emperor waved his hand. Go. The two dared not linger for even half a second and immediately scurried away. After the two left, the Dragon Emperor's eyes were thoughtful. I didn't expect Lin Moyu to possess the Law God Crystal of the God of Thunder. It seems that the one who fell a few days ago was the God of Thunder. What exactly did the gods encounter back then? Why did most of them die? Judging from the Law God Crystal, the God of Thunder had already stepped into the realm of high-level gods. Even he couldn't survive. What exactly happened back then? Lin Moyu should be the last person to see the God of Thunder. Perhaps he knows something. Hopefully, those two will encounter Lin Moyu again. This emperor wants to capture him and ask him face to face. The Dragon Emperor's muttering gradually faded, and the Dragon Emperor's palace fell into silence. After leaving the Dragon Emperor's palace, Taltar and Tashir had expressions of relief on their faces. Tashir said, "Fortunately, the Dragon Emperor still trusts us." Taltar was also still in shock. "Yes, I didn't expect this level 53 human to be so powerful. We must be careful next time. As soon as we meet him, we will activate the Dragon Emperor crystal and let the Dragon Emperor kill him." That's right, let the Dragon Emperor personally take action and kill him. The two were completely unaware that they had already been turned into tools by the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor wanted to capture Lin Moyu, but he couldn't do it himself, so he could only use others. Inside the secret realm, Lin Moyu had already replenished his undead legion. Then, he began to study the pool of water. He had just seen with his own eyes that the flesh and blood of the iron scale python fell into the pool, and then a large number of level 70 iron scale pythons flew out. These level 70 iron scale pythons were not strong, and their bodies were much smaller, but their aura was exactly the same as the real iron scale pythons. Lin Moyu knew that the secret lay in this pool of water. To the naked eye, the pool looked unremarkable. Apart from the water being slightly murky, it was no different from an ordinary pool. The detection spell flew out and landed in the pool. Derivative Blood Pool Advanced, a blood pool formed by the blood of derivative monsters, possessing the ability to replicate creatures through flesh and blood. After seeing the information, Lin Moyu couldn't help but feel curious. The pool of water in front of him was actually a blood pool. It was formed by the blood of a monster called the derivative monster. An answer immediately jumped out in Lin Moyu's mind. The native creatures in this secret realm should be derivative monsters. The dragon race discovered this place and the secret of the derivative monster's blood. So the dragon race occupied this place, killed a large number of derivative monsters, and used their blood to form a blood pool. This could also explain why, when entering the dungeon, one could see war fortresses belonging to the dragon race in the mountains and forests. It showed that a great war had really broken out here. In the end, the dragon race won. The puzzle was finally solved. It was not that the dragon race possessed new puppet technology. It was because they had mastered this derivative blood pool. Killing monsters and draining their blood was somewhat cruel. However, Lin Moyu knew that the dragon race could do it. The derivative blood pool can replicate dragon puppets, and it can also replicate iron scale pythons. I wonder if it can replicate me. Lin Moyu dripped a drop of his own blood into the blood pool. The blood entering the blood pool did not cause much of a stir. Is it useless? Lin Moyu was still wondering when the blood pool suddenly began to boil violently. Then, a person who looked exactly like Lin Moyu appeared in the pool. Lin Moyu was greatly surprised. It can really be replicated. Can my skills be replicated? Before he could finish speaking, the clone in front of him shattered with a bang, leaving not even a trace. Lin Moyu was stunned. It shattered. Even level 70 dragon race war generals can be replicated. I shouldn't be able to at level 53. Even if there are restrictions, at least level 70 and below should be fine, right? Lin Moyu knew that if the blood pool had no restrictions, the dragon race would definitely replicate higher level characters in batches. 0.4. For example, replicating tens of thousands of god-level powerhouses would be enough for them to sweep across the three realms and drive out the demons and humans. Lin Moyu tried a few more times, and the result was still the same. The character quickly shattered after appearing for a while. But the iron scale python didn't dissipate. Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out and could only give up for the time being. He took out a large bucket and filled it with a lot of blood pool water. When he returned, he would show it to Meng Anwen, and perhaps he would know something. If he had the chance, he could also ask Antares. Wasn't that guy known as all-knowing? He should always know something. After leaving the secret realm, Lin Moyu glanced at the entrance and exit of the secret realm. The poisonous gas had not dissipated, and it didn't look like it would dissipate in a short time. With the poisonous gas, it would be difficult for outsiders to enter the dungeon. Even if the dragon race wanted to return, it wouldn't be easy. Using props to leave the dungeon was easy, but wanting to enter was difficult. Lin Moyu couldn't stay here all the time, otherwise he wouldn't have to do anything. This kind of thing should be left to the military to do. It's time to go back. Chapter 504. You haven't passed my test yet. Antares was sleepy-eyed, his eyelids still twitching. It had just woken up, but it didn't have morning sickness. On the contrary, its eyes were filled with joy. Not far from it, a space-time channel was forming. 14. The aura of the Dragon Ball emanated from the space-time tunnel. Lin Moyu was back, bringing back his Dragon Ball. Seconds later, Lin Moyu emerged from the space-time tunnel. At that moment, Antares closed its eyes again, feigning indifference. But the constantly twitching eyelids betrayed it. Lin Moyu found it somewhat amusing. This being who had lived for countless years and was of unknown strength, was acting like a child. How could it not know that he had returned? Wasn't it just trying to tell him that the Dragon Ball wasn't really important? Afraid that he would make excessive demands during the transaction. But such a method was a bit too childish. Antares, wake up, I'm back. Lin Moyu cooperated with Antares, deliberately raising his voice. Antares still didn't respond. Lin Moyu chuckled inwardly, still acting so seriously. Antares, wake up, I'm back. He used an even louder voice, calling out 2 more times. Antares finally stirred, its eyelids slowly rising, revealing dragon eyes much larger than Lin Moyu himself. Oh, you're back. Lin Moyu slightly waved his hand and took out the Dragon Ball. I've brought back the Dragon Ball you wanted. Antares hummed in acknowledgement and casually sucked the Dragon Ball into its mouth. Although it seemed unhurried, Lin Moyu could tell that this guy was very anxious. The Dragon Ball was clearly very important to it, but due to some reasons Lin Moyu couldn't understand, this guy couldn't get it himself and could only entrust it to others. This kind of thing had been going on for many years. Zhang Yi had also helped Antares obtain a Dragon Ball before. As for whether there were others who had traded with Antares, Lin Moyu didn't know. This guy was too arrogant to the extreme. Most people couldn't catch its eye. Even Yan Guangsheng, who was once as famous as Bai Yi Yuan, wasn't taken seriously by it. Bai Yi Yuan and Meng and Wen were naturally the same. Antares snorted softly. Lin Moyu only felt a gust of wind blowing past, almost sweeping him away. Afterward, many solidified fire god's essence blood flew over in a queue, neatly landing in front of Lin Moyu. Antares said, "This is the final payment for the transaction." Lin Moyu didn't stand on ceremony and directly collected the solidified fire god's essence blood. A full 100 pieces, not a small amount. Using it, Lin Moyu could summon a full 100 flame liches, unleashing 100 pseudo-god level attacks. Before, Lin Moyu valued the solidified fire god's essence blood very much. But now, with the corpse of the god of poison in hand, possessing a large amount of the god of poison's essence blood, the demand for fire god's essence blood wasn't as high. Antares said in a low voice, "Our first transaction is complete, you have passed my test, now we can talk about the real transaction." Before Antares could say the content of the transaction, Lin Moyu interrupted it. "Antares, before we talk about the transaction, I have some questions." "More questions?" Antares said, "If you want to get my answer, you need to pay a price. My answer can be regarded as the deposit for the second transaction." Lin Moyu shook his head. "No, it can't." Antares suddenly burst out with a violent aura, its huge dragon eyes staring fixedly at Lin Moyu. It wanted to see where Lin Moyu got the courage to talk to it like this. No one has ever dared to negotiate with this deity. Lin Moyu wasn't afraid of it at all. There wasn't before, but there is now. "You said I passed your test, but you haven't passed my test yet." The furious Antares suddenly froze, then it laughed loudly. "Your test? What test of yours?" Lin Moyu said, "Aren't you known as all-knowing?" Antares said proudly, "That's natural, there's nothing in this world that this deity doesn't know." Lin Moyu shook his head. "During the first transaction, I asked you a question, and the answer you gave me was wrong. So, you didn't pass my test. I can't judge whether the answer you gave me is right or wrong, so I need to consider whether the second transaction can be carried out." Antares suddenly let out a dragon roar. "Impossible. This deity has never been wrong. Looking at Antares' appearance, Lin Moyu knew that this guy had taken the bait. Immediately seizing the opportunity, he continued, "What if you're wrong?" Antares brought its head closer, saying very seriously, "If this deity is wrong, then from now on, if you have any questions, this deity will answer them without fail. If you dare to deceive this deity will eat you. It's a deal, no take-backs. It's a deal, absolutely no take-backs." Antares was full of confidence. It had lived for countless years, although its main body had been in the core area without moving. But it had countless clones, it had witnessed history and the passage of time. It had existed before the establishment of the Shengxia Empire. It was confident that there was nothing it didn't know. The answer it gave could never be wrong. At this time, Lin Moyu took out a bottle containing black powder. "You should know what this is." Antares' dragon eyes stared at the potion bottle, and the next second, its head suddenly shrank back, and a roar came from its mouth, "Corpse poison." Although its huge body didn't move, its eyes were full of vigilance. Even it was full of fear for corpse poison. Lin Moyu knew that Antares must recognize corpse poison. This bottle of corpse poison powder was obtained from the god of medicine Shu. It was taken from the wound of Dongfang Yao's mother, belonging to low-level corpse poison. "You told me last time that corpse poison is incurable, right?" Lin Moyu asked. Antares replied without thinking, "Corpse poison comes from a very terrible forbidden skill, it is indeed incurable." Lin Moyu opened the bottle. This action made Antares shrink back a distance. It asked vigilantly, "What do you want to do?" Lin Moyu smiled, "You just watch." Saying that, he poured some corpse poison on his hand. Antares' eyes widened. What Lin Moyu did exceeded its imagination. Its big head couldn't understand. "Are you trying to die?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "You just watch." After a while, Lin Moyu frowned. "Why doesn't it work?" At this time, he realized that he was not only immune to all abnormal states, but now he was also 100% immune to poisonous elements. Whether corpse poison belonged to poison or belonged to an abnormal state, it had no effect on him. Antares was also stunned. Why aren't you poisoned? Is this corpse poison fake?" "Impossible. I'll tell you in a moment." After Lin Moyu figured it out, he helplessly summoned a skeleton, and then poured the corpse poison on the skeleton. He originally didn't want to use the skeleton to test the poison. Now the gathering power skill, the Lich General's skill, can be inherited, and he can use it on himself. It can also detoxify. Unfortunately, he still used the skeleton in the end. After the skeleton was sprinkled with corpse poison, it was immediately poisoned. Black gas unique to corpse poison appeared all over its body. Lin Moyu said, "My skeleton is now poisoned with corpse poison, right?" Antares completely didn't understand Lin Moyu anymore, and nodded instinctively, "That's right." At this time, Lin Moyu summoned a Lich General again. As a white light lit up, the corpse poison on the skeleton disappeared directly. 15. The skeleton was white and frightening, with no trace of the corrupt corpse poison. Antares blinked repeatedly, unable to believe what he was seeing. This is impossible. This is wrong, impossible. It kept repeating itself, refusing to believe what it was seeing. Lin Moyu said, "The truth is right before your eyes. The incurable corrupt corpse poison you speak of, I can neutralize it. I originally wanted to use myself as an experiment, but I can't be poisoned." Antares immediately looked over. "That's right, why aren't you afraid of the corrupt corpse poison?" Lin Moyu said, "My passive skill grants immunity to all abnormal states, and my poison resistance reaches 100%. Antares let out another strange cry. "Impossible, there's no such skill, and the elemental immunity limit for humans is 90%. How can there be 100% immunity?" Lin Moyu spread out his hands. "See, there are things you don't know." Chapter 505, Questioning and Answering Like Old Friends. Antares was speechless. It realized that it truly wasn't omniscient. Lin Moyu's almost unreasonable passive skill, 100% elemental immunity, and the ability to neutralize corrupt corpse poison. Each one exceeded its understanding. But reality was before its eyes, and it couldn't deny it. The proud Antares couldn't possibly deny it. Antares finally lowered its head to Lin Moyu helplessly. "All right, I admit there are things in the world that I don't know. Since that's the case, you can ask me any questions you have in the future. I'll tell you what I can." Antares' head drooped again, listlessly lying on the ground. What Lin Moyu wanted was this sentence from it. "I have quite a few questions, so be prepared." Ask away, just think of it as a chat. Antares gave up resisting, looking at Lin Moyu as if he were a freak. Lin Moyu raised his first question, do you know about derivative monsters? I know, it's this thing. Some light appeared in front of Antares, the light intertwining like thin threads to form the shape of a monster. 4 legs, a slender body, especially the tail, which was longer than the body. In Lin Moyu's words, it was a snake with 4 legs. Lin Moyu said, the dragon race discovered a large number of derivative monsters in a secret realm. The dragon race killed them all and built a derivative blood pool to replicate dragon race puppet warriors. Antares sneered, I know about this. The derivative blood pool is just a high-level product, at most it can only replicate level 70 guys, it's useless. And I can tell you a secret, the dragon race is courting death. Lin Moyu pressed, why do you say that? Antares shook its head, I'll tell you what I can tell you. This question is something I can't tell you. Ask something else. Lin Moyu didn't insist on Antares answering. He knew to quit while he was ahead, firmly grasping the situation. Lin Moyu continued to ask, okay, then I'll change the question. Why can't I replicate myself? Antares casually replied, it can only replicate low-level races. This time it was Lin Moyu's turn to be shocked. He didn't expect such an answer. Seeing Lin Moyu's shocked appearance, Antares laughed hysterically. Finally, it had won back a point. Antares felt very relieved. It had already decided to stop at this question. No matter how Lin Moyu asked, it wouldn't answer another word. It would suffocate Lin Moyu to death. Antares thought it was hiding it well, but the smugness in its eyes had already betrayed it. After being shocked, Lin Moyu never continued to ask that question. Instead, he started talking about other unimportant things. This time, Antares became depressed instead. It cursed Lin Moyu countless times in its heart, and when answering questions, it started calling him, damn kid, to vent the dissatisfaction in its heart. Lin Moyu didn't care, and directly called it by its name. The two individuals with completely unequal strength were now talking like friends. Antares was actually very curious about Lin Moyu's profession, but out of pride, it was too embarrassed to ask. Now, in this question and answer session, it finally understood some of the details of Lin Moyu's profession, and also learned how Lin Moyu raised his poison element immunity to 100%. When Lin Moyu took out the corpse of the god of poison and placed it in front of Antares, Antares was shocked again. Damn kid, do you know what you've obtained? Antares' tone was slightly serious, and an astonishing aura permeated its body. Under the shroud of its aura, the aura belonging to the god of poison did not spread outward. This was a complete divine corpse, not a bone or a severed limb. Its aura, even the god Shata might not be able to conceal. Lin Moyu said, a complete divine corpse, through comprehending and researching it, can help our human race give birth to more god-level powerhouses and also allow god-level powerhouses to advance. I know, I shouldn't let others know about its existence, but it's in my hands after all, and there will be a day when I take it out. Antares snorted, you know nothing, everything you know was told to you by that Zhang Yi, right? Lin Moyu nodded. His initial understanding of the gods came from Zhang Yi. When Zhang Yi handed over a section of the god's finger to him at the time, he solemnly instructed him not to show it to anyone. Meng Anwen and Bai Yiyuan also attached great importance to it. But a severed finger couldn't compare to the complete corpse of the god of poison at all. What's more, the god of poison was a mid-level god. Antares said, gods generally don't leave corpses behind. They are the darlings of a world, the aggregates of elements, the ultimate expressions of a certain element. They are hard to kill, and even if they die, they will leave a glimmer of life. Occasionally being able to obtain a little bit of a god's limb is already considered a stroke of good luck. For you to be able to obtain a complete divine corpse, I suspect you are the illegitimate child of the heavens. Antares' gaze was a little strange, looking at Lin Moyu even more like a monster. It had never seen anyone obtain a complete divine corpse. Lin Moyu chuckled, let's just say that. What exactly is the use of divine corpses? Antares said, didn't I say that? Gods are the ultimate expression of elements, doesn't that mean anything? I don't know, Lin Moyu said decisively, telling the truth, he really didn't know. He hadn't come into contact with this area yet. The education of the human race in any period has a gradual mode. At a specific level, you can know some specific knowledge. Knowing too early is not good. Antares said, the ultimate expression of elements is the law. You should be able to feel that it has a strong aura of law. Gods more or less have an aura of law. The god of poison is a mid-level god, and the law is more obvious. The fire god is a low-level god, and the aura of law is much weaker. The reason why divine corpses are treasures is because of the laws contained in their corpses. Through comprehending and researching the laws, you can allow your human god-level powerhouses to improve quickly. This time, Antares generously told Lin Moyu a lot, letting Lin Moyu understand the true role of divine corpses. Different gods represent different elements. Various professions of the human race have corresponding elemental skills. If you want to improve, you need to deepen the research on laws. Lin Moyu understood the importance of divine corpses, but also had new questions. But as far as I know, there is no profession in the human race that uses poison element skills. Antares snorted softly. Don't you understand analogy? What about this? Accompanied by a flash of lightning and thunder, a more surging aura of law than the corpse of the god of poison emerged. Lin Moyu took out the electric law god crystal. Antares just glanced at it. The law god crystal is of course useful, and the electric law god crystal is priceless to those mages who are good at electricity. Even a whole set of legendary equipment is not comparable to this small thing. By the way, how did you find the god of lightning? Lin Moyu told the story of how he found the god of lightning. 16. Antares sighed with some emotion. That woman was so foolish. I told her not to go, but she insisted on going, and as a result, she died. She clearly had a chance to be resurrected, but she insisted on maintaining her original true spirit. Gods are all blockheaded idiots. It turned out that the two knew each other, and their relationship seemed to be quite good. Lin Moyu wanted to ask something else, but Antares interrupted him. Don't ask any more. I won't tell you even if you ask. As he spoke, he shot a beam of light from his eyes, hitting the corpse of the god of poison. The divine aura that had been spreading wildly suddenly weakened. Antares said, I've sealed its aura. Don't take it out casually in the future. Your human race isn't as peaceful as you think it is. Lin Moyu put away the corpse of the god of poison and said sincerely, thank you. Antares snorted softly and said unhappily, you're welcome. Any more questions? The two had been chatting for half a day, and Antares thought that Lin Moyu had asked everything he needed to ask. Unexpectedly, Lin Moyu said, there's one more, about the divine summer ancient city. I entered the ancient thunder tower and saw some scenes. He recounted the scenes he had witnessed. Antares shook his head. I know of the existence of the ancient city. Its history is older than mine, so I don't know its past. This was also the first time Antares had actively admitted that there were things he didn't know. Lin Moyu didn't expect that the history of the divine summer ancient city would be even older than Antares's. This was unexpected. Lin Moyu couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. He felt that the origin of the ancient city must be extraordinary. Chapter 506. Guys from the Black Dragon Society, come out and face your death. Lin Moyu and Antares, under very pleasant, fair, and just circumstances, reached a new agreement of intent. Lin Moyu would still need to go to the lower space and enter the Dragon King's Hall dungeon. According to Antares, Lin Moyu is currently the only person in the entire human race who possesses the entry qualification for the Dragon King's Hall dungeon. However, the minimum requirement for this dungeon is level 70. Lin Moyu can't go for the time being. Antares couldn't do anything about this. As for the situation inside the Dragon King's Hall, Antares said that he had never been there and didn't know. There are also Dragon Balls in the Dragon King's Hall. After entering the dungeon, Lin Moyu needs to find the Dragon Balls and bring them back to Antares. As for the reward, Antares drew a big pie for Lin Moyu. He said it was about the secret of becoming a transcendent god. Lin Moyu couldn't refuse this. Becoming a transcendent god was Lin Moyu's dream. Antares also knew that Lin Moyu couldn't refuse and firmly grasped this point. Lin Moyu didn't argue with him. He had already gained a great advantage this time. But Antares didn't pay a deposit either, so it's hard to say who is at a disadvantage. In the White God's small courtyard, Meng and Wen was leisurely drinking tea. Bai Yuan had just returned, looking at Meng and Wen with a displeased expression. Xiao Yu is fine, why didn't you tell me? Making me stay in the Hall of Heroes for so long. It's so boring to be alone. It's not fair for you to do this. Bai Yuan complained and nagged. Meng and Wen only sensed Lin Moyu's return to the upper space and then notified Bai Yuan. Meng and Wen smiled and said, I didn't say it, but wouldn't you ask? You used to ask all the time. Bai Yi Yuan said, I forgot. But it's good that Xiao Yu is fine. This kid has actually reached the 3-star Divine General, that's really good. Meng and Wen chuckled, it's indeed surprising, and he even obtained 2 origin runes. His future achievements will definitely surpass you and me. Bai Yi Yuan looked as if it should be so. Xiao Yu's goal is to become a transcendent god, he's much stronger than us. Yes, he is indeed stronger than us. The space fluctuated slightly, and Bai Yi Yuan revealed a look of joy, Xiao Yu is back. Meng and Wen also chuckled, he's back quite quickly. With footsteps, Lin Moyu walked in. Teacher, I'm back. Bai Yi Yuan looked like an old father, with a face full of smiles. Under his constant questioning, Lin Moyu told him everything that happened in the lower space. Meng and Wen said with a smile, Xiao Yu's experience can be written into textbooks. Bai Yi Yuan said, I and Yan Crazy have seen that giant poisonous flood dragon. We once joined forces to try to kill it, but we didn't succeed. I didn't expect it to die in Xiao Yu's hands in the end. Lin Moyu took out all the materials from the poisonous flood dragon. Teacher, I used most of the spinal cord, only this much is left. But the vertebrae are still there, and the fascia. Bai Yi Yuan and Meng and Wen looked at each other and smiled. Lin Moyu took out such precious things without hesitation. These are all legendary level materials, which are no longer useful to Lin Moyu. After some pushing and shoving, Meng and Wen accepted the fascia and half of the vertebrae. As for the spinal cord, neither he nor Bai Yi Yuan wanted it. At their level, they care more about their understanding of the laws and power. Teacher Meng, please open the Divine Summer Tower and activate the formation. Seeing Lin Moyu so solemnly, Meng and Wen also became serious. He immediately summoned the Divine Summer Tower and took all 3 of them into it. The interior of the Divine Summer Tower formed an independent space, with layers of formations, isolating all auras. Lin Moyu took out the corpse of the god of poison. After being sealed by Antares, the aura of the corpse of the god of poison had weakened by more than 10 times. But it still far exceeded the divine finger. Meng and Wen and Bai Yi Yuan gasped at the same time. Bai Yi Yuan's voice trembled, and he was excited, this is the corpse of a god. He unconsciously reached out to touch it, but Lin Moyu hurriedly shouted, don't touch it, the corpse is poisonous. At the same time as Lin Moyu reminded him, Meng and Wen shot a beam of light from his fingertip and landed on Bai Yi Yuan, and Bai Yi Yuan was immediately blasted back dozens of meters. You're so old, and you're still so careless, Meng and Wen said unhappily. Lin Moyu also said, Teacher, this is the corpse of the god of poison. His whole body is poisonous. I used his essence and blood to poison and kill a divine demon king's clone. Meng and Wen also said, the god of poison is a mid-level god, and his strength is not below you and me. And his poison is very troublesome. If you are poisoned, you will have to spend a lot of energy to detoxify. Bai Yi Yuan's old face turned red after being said by Meng and Wen, and he did not refute. He was indeed too careless just now. Lin Moyu said, Teacher, can you comprehend the laws above? Meng and Wen shook his head, although the corpse is good, it is still useless to us. We know nothing about the laws of poisonous elements. We have too little experience, and it is difficult to even try to extrapolate. Although Antares said that it can be extrapolated. That was said from his height. If it is placed at the level of Meng and Wen and Bai Yi Yuan, it is not easy to do. Unlike the last time Zhang Yi gave that section of the divine finger, although the laws above were weak, they were still somewhat close and could be used. Lin Moyu could only put away the corpse, and then took out a lightning-type law divine crystal. Teacher, what about this? After Meng and Wen and Bai Yi Yuan checked it, their eyes showed joy. Bai Yi Yuan said, good heavens, a law divine crystal, this is really a good thing. In our entire human race, only the old man has a wind element law divine crystal, right? 17. Meng Anwen said, in our eyes, the value of this law god crystal is even higher than a god's corpse. Both Lao Bai and I have skills related to the element of electricity, and we can comprehend something through this law god crystal. It's good as long as it's useful. Lin Moyu was also very happy to be able to help Meng Anwen and Bai Yi Yuan. As he spoke, Lin Moyu took out another law god crystal, one for each of them. He also had to leave one for Yan Guangsheng. Lin Moyu would not touch these 3. One had already been used for self-destruction, and now there were 6 left that he could use. If used well, a law god crystal was equivalent to a full-force strike from a near high-level god. In addition, He also had 105 solidified fire god blood essences, and he didn't know how much poisonous god's blood essence remained in the corpse of the god of poison. And the corpse of the god of poison was his biggest trump card. Lin Moyu discovered that he had an unbelievable number of trump cards. If he were to fight desperately, even a god-level powerhouse like Bai Yiyuan might be killed by him. About halfway after Lin Moyu returned. In the airspace belonging to the Cherry Blossom Garden, a teleportation array suddenly appeared. Lin Moyu and Bai Yiyuan walked out of the teleportation array, and then quickly flew towards the capital of the Cherry Blossom country. Both of them were filled with murderous intent. This time, they came to kill people. The Black Dragon Society's collusion with the Abyss Demons had already crossed the line for Lin Moyu and Bai Yiyuan. Neither of them would be soft on this matter. Bai Yiyuan had once said that anyone who colluded with demons should be killed. The Black Dragon Society was located in the capital of the Cherry Blossom Country, Yingdong City. The Cherry Blossom Country was not large. After leaving the teleportation array, it only took them an hour to arrive in the sky above Yingdong City. Black Dragon Society guys, get out here. Black Dragon Society guys, get out here. Black Dragon Society guys, get out here. Bai Yiyuan's murderous voice resounded throughout Yingdong City as he shouted 3 times in a row. The entire Yingdong City trembled in Bai Yiyuan's angry roar. Yingdong City immediately became noisy. A large number of top-level professionals took to the sky, and in the blink of an eye, they surrounded Lin Moyu and Bai Yiyuan. Yingdong City was the capital of the Cherry Blossom Country. In addition to the most powerful professionals in the Cherry Blossom Country, there was also an equally powerful guarding army. At this time, the army was already gathering. Before those professionals could speak, Bai Yiyuan shouted angrily again, "Get down, this is none of your business." God-level aura erupted, and all the high-level professionals who had just taken off were suppressed. Hundreds of top professionals fell to the ground in a mess, their expressions horrified. It turned out that a god-level powerhouse had come. Lin Moyu's eyes showed a slight surprise. He didn't expect Bai Yiyuan to be so strong. Judging from this, he was very close to level 96, only a small step away from a high-level god, and could break through at any time. Bai Yiyuan was not so strong before. Lin Moyu estimated that Zhang Yi's severed finger of a god had greatly improved Bai Yiyuan. "God Bai has come, please forgive us for not welcoming you." A low voice slowly sounded, and someone flew up from the city. Bai Yiyuan's arrival finally alarmed the god-level powerhouses in the Cherry Blossom Country. Chapter 507. Abe Yinri, sending you two on your way. Bai Yiyuan looked at the person who came, with a look of killing intent on his face. "Old man Yamamoto, there's no need to be so polite here. Today, I'm not here to cause trouble for your Cherry Blossom Country." Hearing Bai Yiyuan say this, Yamamoto Yi couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It's good that he's not here to cause trouble for the Cherry Blossom Country. Who would dare to provoke this killing god? The incident in the Kimchi country was still vivid in his mind. Bai Yiyuan almost killed his way to the destruction of the country single-handedly. The Kimchi country incident established Bai Yiyuan's reputation as a killing god, and it also became a taboo in the mouths of god-level powerhouses from various countries. The two craziest lunatics in the Divine Summer Empire, one was the killing god Bai Yiyuan, and the other was the mad god Yan Kuangsheng. Whoever provokes them is unlucky. But in front of Bai Yiyuan, no one dared to call him a killing god, and they all called him God Bai. Yamamoto Yi asked, "May I ask, Lord God Bai, where has the Black Dragon Society offended you? I will ask them to apologize to you." Bai Yiyuan just glanced at Yamamoto Yi. "No need, they didn't offend me, and there's no need to apologize. The Black Dragon Society colluded with the Abyss Demons, they deserve to die." Yamamoto Yi trembled all over. He didn't expect that this would be the reason. Bai Yiyuan hated the Abyss Demons so much. The Kimchi country offended him because of the Abyss Demons. He didn't expect the Black Dragon Society to collude with the Abyss Demons. "Lord Bai, do you have evidence?" Yamamoto Yi held on to his last hope, trying to reason with Bai Yiyuan. Bai Yiyuan grinned, "Do I need evidence?" Yamamoto Yi's face became extremely ugly, and his last hope was completely shattered. Bai Yiyuan told all the people of the Cherry Blossom Country with an absolutely domineering attitude that he didn't need evidence at all. Even if there were those in the Cherry Blossom Country who were not convinced, they had to endure it now. Everything was decided by strength. Yamamoto Yi didn't speak, But Bai Yiyuan didn't have the patience to wait any longer. I'll give you 3 seconds. If the Black Dragon Society doesn't come out, then I won't be polite. Yamamoto Yi knew what would happen if he wasn't polite. Once Bai Yiyuan went crazy, he wouldn't reason with anyone. This was not Divine Summer, and the people in the city were not from Divine Summer. Bai Yiyuan could be unscrupulous. Yamamoto Yi didn't even wait a second, pointing in one direction. The Black Dragon Society's manor is over there. Without needing to weigh the pros and cons, Yamamoto Yi instinctively chose to sell out the Black Dragon Society between the people of the Cherry Blossom Country and the Black Dragon Society. Bai Yiyuan sneered. He had expected this to happen. The direction Yamamoto Yi pointed to was outside Yingdong City, at the foot of a high mountain, where there was a sizable manor. The headquarters of the Black Dragon Society was not in Yingdong City, but outside the city. The mountains were covered with white snow, and the foot of the mountains was full of flowers and birds. It was a nice place. They really know how to pick a place. Bai Yiyuan's eyes were filled with killing intent. Yamamoto Yi breathed a slight sigh of relief. Now that things had come to this, it didn't matter whether the Black Dragon Society had colluded with the Abyss Demons or not. No one cared about any evidence anymore. Bai Yiyuan flew towards the headquarters of the Black Dragon Society with fierce killing intent. The snow mountain shook and trembled non-stop. Large swaths of snow collapsed from the mountain. 3 figures soared into the sky, each exuding a god-level aura. Although the Cherry Blossom Country was a small country, it did have a few god-level existences. However, their auras were far inferior to Bai Yiyuan's, at most at the level of 91 or 92. They were all low-level gods, and there was only one mid-level god. These people obviously recognized Bai Yiyuan, and their faces changed drastically when they saw Bai Yiyuan. Bai Yiyuan just glanced at them, and they didn't dare to say another word. Arriving above the headquarters of the Black Dragon Society, overlooking the manor, there were quite a few people in the manor. As the strongest guild in the Cherry Blossom Country, the headquarters of the Black Dragon Society still had some powerful professionals. 18. Among them, no fewer than 20 were top-tier professionals above level 80. They were all high-ranking members of the Black Dragon Society, usually bossing people around and wielding considerable power. But now, under Bai Yiyuan's powerful aura, each of them was as silent as a cicada in winter. Abe Yinri, get out here. Bai Yiyuan stared at one of the houses in the Black Dragon Society's manor. A divine level aura permeated from this house. The president of the Black Dragon Society, Abe Yinri, was inside. Lin Moyu frowned slightly. Teacher, there's more than one divine level inside. Bai Yiyuan didn't care. Indeed, there's more than one bug. A sinister laugh rang out as the door opened, and 2 people walked out side by side. Both were divine level powerhouses, and their appearances were exactly the same. Bai Yiyuan sneered. Abe Yinyu, so you're here too. Abe Yinri and Abe Yinyu were twin brothers. Their appearances, heights, physiques, and even temperaments were identical, making it difficult to distinguish them. Abe Yinyu looked at Bai Yiyuan with extremely cold eyes, unlike those a human should have. Abe Yinyu chuckled, revealing a pair of fangs. Bai Yiyuan, I didn't expect to see me again. Lin Moyu felt a chill in his heart. That's not right, he's not human. He whispered to Bai Yiyuan, Teacher, there's something wrong with this guy. Bai Yiyuan hummed, there is indeed something wrong. This guy is already dead. Now he has become Abe Yinri's Shikigami. It seems I was too lenient back then, not thorough enough in the killing. Lin Moyu finally understood that Abe Yinyu was killed by Bai Yiyuan back then. It was just that the killing was not thorough enough, and Abe Yinri turned his younger brother into a Shikigami. After becoming a Shikigami, he was no longer human but became a half-human, half-soul existence. Onmyojis have a skill that can turn people who have died recently and whose souls have not dissipated into their own Shikigami. This allows them to control the other party for life. Many Onmyojis use this method to deal with their enemies, which is extremely vicious. Generally speaking, after becoming a Shikigami, one would not retain memories and thoughts from their previous life. But Abe Yinyu was not like that. Abe Yinyu still retained his memories and hatred from his previous life. He couldn't wait to skin Bai Yiyuan alive. Abe Yinyu said coldly, Abe Yinyu will never forget the hatred of being killed back then. Today, Abe Yinyu will repay it tenfold. Seeking flowers. Bai Yiyuan laughed loudly. Did you damage your brain when you became a Shikigami? Just you. Abe Yinyu didn't say anything more, just kept making sinister laughter. Beside him, Abe Yinri, the head of the Black Dragon Society, said in a low voice, "You must be Lin Moyu, the youngest divine general of the Divine Summer Empire." Lin Moyu was now a very popular figure, with too great a reputation, and few people didn't know him. Abe Yinri continued, "My son sent back some information before he died. You were the one who killed him, right? To be able to obliterate my son's soul, Divine General Lin has good methods." Abe Yoshino was Abe Yinri's son, Bai Yiyuan had already told him on the way here. With Abe Yoshino's ability, he shouldn't have been able to hook up with a demon of the abyss. Without Abe Yinri's authorization, he wouldn't have been so bold as to besiege Jia Lanliang. The Black Dragon Society was bound to be involved, and Abe Yinri was bound to be involved. 0. Abe Yinri's voice was low, as if he was talking to himself. "You killed my son and still want to destroy my Black Dragon Society, Bai Yiyuan, you've gone too far. Since that's the case, then don't blame me for being impolite. Lord Bai, you may be able to leave today, but Divine General Lin will stay." As he said that, he stomped his foot fiercely, and the entire manor instantly shone brightly. A barrier appeared around the manor, enveloping the entire area. "Barrier," Bai Yiyuan whispered. As expected, they colluded with the demons of the abyss. Just using a barrier was enough to confirm that the Black Dragon Society was indeed colluding with the demons of the abyss. This trip was not in vain. Demons of the abyss use barriers, and dragons use formations. The human race combines the strengths of both, and ultimately the formation master profession was born. At the same time as the barrier appeared, Shikigami appeared behind Abe Yinri. As a divine level on Myoji, one can have multiple Shikigami. Abe Yinri had a total of 8 Shikigami, and his younger brother, Abe Yinyu, was one of them. When he saw the other Shikigami, Lin Moyu suddenly narrowed his eyes. "Demon King." Abe Yinri said in a low voice, "That's right, they are Demon Kings." Among his 8 Shikigami, besides Abe Yinyu, there were also 2 Demon Kings of the Abyss. Bai Yiyuan said in a low voice, "Using Demon Kings as Shikigami as a first. It seems your collusion with the demons of the Abyss is very deep, even newly dead Demon Kings can be given to you." Bai Yiyuan naturally wouldn't believe that Abe Yinri had personally killed the Demon Kings and then turned them into Shikigami. Moreover, these 2 Demon Kings Shikigami were very old, most likely Demon Kings who had died of old age and were given to Abe Yinri. Abe Yinri didn't explain, he gave Bai Yiyuan and Lin Moyu a salute unique to the Cherry Blossom Country. Level 93 on Myoji, Abe Yinri, sends you 2 on your way. Level 93, Intermediate Divine Level, with 8 Shikigami that have all reached the Divine Level. Abe Yinri's strength was beyond imagination. At Chapter 508 targeted, Abe Yinri started to move, and 8 Divine Level Shikigami rushed towards Bai Yiyuan together. The highest level of a Shikigami cannot exceed the Onmyoji's level. Abe Yinri, as a level 93 Onmyoji, had cultivated his 8 Shikigami to level 92. Among them, Abe Yinyu, this special Shikigami, had already reached level 93. And because he retained his memories from his previous life, his combat power was even higher than the other 7 Shikigami. Fighting 8 alone, even Bai Yiyuan didn't dare to take it lightly. "Xiao Yu, be careful yourself," Bai Yiyuan shouted in a low voice, and a powerful aura burst out from his body. Lin Moyu said, "The best way to kill a Shikigami is to kill the Onmyoji. Teacher, I'll go kill Abe Yinri." "Good." Bai Yiyuan believed in Lin Moyu's strength and didn't say much. Bai Yiyuan moved like a falling meteor, colliding with the Shikigami with a bang. One of the Shikigami named Tengshi was knocked away, and at this time another one named Tianzhao, shaped like a wolf and covered in flames, bit towards Bai Yiyuan. Bai Yiyuan waved his iron fist and blasted it away. Once Bai Yiyuan started fighting, he entered the state, waving his pair of iron fists with gusts of wind, and electric snakes danced within. Skills came easily, wielded freely and were incredibly powerful. The space vibrated violently, and shockwaves swept out. A large number of houses collapsed with a crash, and the manor became a mess. If it weren't for the barrier, this shockwave could have destroyed most of Yingdong City. Bai Yiyuan was having a great time fighting, and Lin Moyu wasn't idle either. He quickly flew towards Abe Yinri. Everyone knows that the Onmyoji profession is very similar to the summoner, and most of their combat power is concentrated on their summons. Without summons, they themselves don't have much combat power. But Lin Moyu didn't think so, especially when facing Abe Yinri, who had already reached level 93, Lin Moyu didn't take it lightly. Having reached Abe Yinri's level, even without Shikigami, he still possessed powerful combat power. Abe Yinri looked at Lin Moyu, the youngest divine general in Divine Summer and even the entire human race. Your potential is very strong, you are qualified to become my 9th Shikigami. He pointed a finger at Lin Moyu, and a light instantly shot towards Lin Moyu. The speed of the light was extremely fast, far exceeding Lin Moyu's reaction limit, and instantly hit Lin Moyu. 19. The skeletal armor gleamed, lasting for half a second before shattering. Then the light struck Lin Moyu. Abe Yinri chuckled, having been hit by my soul-fixing curse, you will obediently surrender. He choked on his words before he could finish. Lin Moyu was completely unaffected, as if nothing had happened, not even feeling the effects of the soul-fixing curse. Impossible, how could you be alright? Abe Yinri shrieked. How could he know just how abnormal Lin Moyu's passive skills were, being immune to any abnormal status effects? This skill was so astonishing that even Antares would be shocked. Abe Yinri's level simply wouldn't understand. Lin Moyu chuckled, soul attacks, I know those too. Flames danced in his hand, and soul flames instantly descended. Abe Yinri immediately screamed, instantly using other skills, and a large number of runes appeared on his body. These runes were called Yin-Yang Master runes, and the higher the level of the Yin-Yang Master, the more runes they had. At this moment, the runes on Abe Yinri's body almost covered his entire body. The runes transformed into invisible armor, not only protecting his body but also shielding his soul. Lin Moyu wasn't surprised at all. As a god-level powerhouse, how could he not have skills to protect himself? The undead army appeared with a roar, heading towards Abe Yinri with overwhelming force. Dense elemental explosions erupted. Abe Yinri continued to cast skills amidst his shock. A large number of runes flew from his hands, and the entire manor lit up. There were also hundreds of Black Dragon Society members in the manor, including over 20 top-tier professionals above level 80. They had long been stunned by this great battle, at a loss of what to do. This battle between god-level experts was simply beyond their ability to intervene. At this moment, a large number of runes appeared beneath their feet. Skill, Yin-Yang Fate Lock. Abe Yinri shouted softly, and the runes acted like shackles, locking everyone in place. The bewildered Black Dragon Society members immediately panicked. They screamed frantically, struggling desperately. Chairman, what is this? Chairman, what are you doing? Chairman, why are you locking us up? All the exclamations quickly turned into terror, as the chains were absorbing their power. In the next instant, more rune chains soared into the sky, flying like whips in the air, sweeping away the skeletons. The Black Dragon Society members grew weaker and weaker, while the rune chains became more and more numerous. The skeleton berserkers swung their axes to chop apart the rune chains, but these chains were extremely sturdy and difficult to break. At the same time, runes flickered on Abe Yinri's body, forming a shield, repelling all attacks from the skeleton archmages and sharpshooters. Which god-level expert was easy to deal with, especially a level 93 god-level expert? Even without his Shikigami, Lin Moyu didn't dare to underestimate him. The Black Dragon Society members were about to be drained dry, and the rune chains grew stronger. The rune chains wrapped around Abe Yinri, isolating his aura, making it difficult for even the skeleton archmages and sharpshooters to attack him. The rune chains not only protected Abe Yinri but also entangled a large number of skeleton berserkers. Immediately afterward, more chains flew towards Lin Moyu, trying to entangle him as well. Useless, you can't break my Yin-Yang Fate Lock. Even if you have so many summons, they are too weak. No matter how many there are, they are just ants. I will soon tear your summons to pieces and turn you into a Shikigami. Abe Yinri's hateful voice slowly echoed. Lin Moyu had killed his son, and he hated Lin Moyu to the bone. The hatred of killing his son could only be satisfied by turning Lin Moyu into a Shikigami. Lin Moyu didn't speak. He had already calculated the approximate power of the rune chains. Defense was greater than attack power. The defense was indeed unparalleled, bought with the lives of hundreds of people. Gathering the life force of a large number of Black Dragon Society members, it would be strange if the defense wasn't strong. As for the attack power, it wasn't that great. To think of killing himself with such attack power was undoubtedly a fool's dream. Lin Moyu pointed his finger. Skill, Curse of Aging. Skill, Poison Starburst. Two super large-scale skills erupted, and the barrier was instantly dyed with 2 layers of red and green halos. Under the curse of aging, the Shikigami's movements immediately slowed down, and the damage it took also increased significantly. Bai Yiyuan laughed heartily, and his offensive instantly became more fierce. At the same time, the Shikigami and Abe Yinri were both stained with a cloud of green light. Poison spread, dealing damage every second. Abe Yinri said in a low voice, "Curse skills, useless." He made several marks, forming a complex rune, skill, dismiss. The skill exploded, and the curses on him and the Shikigami immediately dissipated. Sure enough, against god-level experts, the effect of curses was almost non-existent. Lin Moyu didn't know if the curse would be enhanced after he became a god-level expert, but it should be. But the poison starburst skill was still useful. After dispelling the curse skill, Abe Yinri took out another potion and poured it into his mouth. The poison on his body also quickly dissipated, and even the poison on the Shikigami was resolved. Abe Yinri said, "I have already mastered all your skills. Curses and poison, although rare, are not impossible to solve. Useless, obediently surrender." Lin Moyu chuckled, being targeted, huh. His reputation was too great, and his skills had long been understood, so being targeted was normal. However, not all of his skills were known. For example, one elemental lich after another appeared. Layers of halos appeared beneath the skeleton's feet. The poison that had just receded returned in an even stronger state. This time, it was the poison brought by the poison lich, even more powerful than Lin Moyu's poison starburst. Lightning flashed and thunder roared in the air, and bolts of lightning struck down, hitting the Shikigami and Abe Yinri respectively. Abe Yinri was shocked again. What skill was this? How did he not know? The rune chains seemed to be very afraid of lightning and were quickly defeated under the lightning attacks. Abe Yinri said coldly, "To play with lightning in front of an onmyoji is courting death." Abe Yinri quickly made a large number of hand seals, and one rune after another flew out, summoned Susanoo. Susanoo was a powerful Shikigami in Sakura Country's legends, skilled at controlling lightning, known as the Thunder God of Sakura Country. But it could never truly become a Shikigami, it could only be summoned to help when needed. A huge phantom appeared in the air, a Shikigami with a lightning mark between its eyebrows in the air. Only its upper body appeared, looking like a human. However, in the legends of Sakura Country, Susanoo's lower body was a snake body. Susanoo appeared and looked towards Lin Moyu, while striking with lightning in his hand, striking Lin Moyu. Chapter 509. If there is a next time, Sakura Country will be removed from the world. Bathing in lightning. 20. Lin Mochin's expression remained unchanged, completely calm. He glanced at Susanoo with a hint of contempt. This is it, it's a world apart from Lin Mo's God of Thunder. Susanoo seemed provoked and furiously unleashed lightning. But it was useless. Lin Mochin was 100% immune to electrical elements and completely ignored its attacks. Susanoo disappeared into the air with a hint of helplessness. Abe Yinri was shocked again, shocked to the point of numbness. What the hell was that? He felt that Lin Mochin was full of mysteries, difficult to fathom. For the first time, he doubted whether his plan to kill Lin Mochin and turn him into a Shikigami would succeed. He had made various arrangements to counter Lin Mochin's skills, but Lin Mochin shocked him again and again, causing his arrangements to fail repeatedly. Suddenly, Bai Yiyuan's deep voice rang out in the air, "Have you had enough fun, brat? Finish it quickly." Lin Mochin glanced over and found that Bai Yiyuan was not under any pressure at all. Above the god level, each level of improvement is a world of difference. Bai Yiyuan was only half a step away from level 96, so dealing with these level 91 and 92 Shikigami was not a problem at all. Lin Mochin knew that Bai Yiyuan was purely having enough fun. However, he had seen enough himself. Onmyoji were probably like this. The reason why Lin Mochin dragged it out until now was to see the skills of the Onmyoji. Now he had seen everything he needed to see. In that case, let's end it. His palm suddenly glowed. He still needed to give the necessary respect when dealing with god-level powerhouses. The origin rune sparkled. Abe Yinri immediately became vigilant. He knew that Lin Mochin possessed the origin rune, but he didn't know what the specific skill effects were. But every origin rune was powerful and should not be underestimated. Without knowing the effect, he couldn't target it, so he could only improvise. The strong soldier's skill was activated, and the undead army was instantly strengthened several times over, as if it had been reborn. The skeleton berserkers, who were originally entangled by the rune chains and unable to break free, now swung their axes and cut the rune chains into pieces with a few strikes. Not only the skeleton berserkers, but also the chains that could withstand elemental explosions and arrows were now being blown apart. This attack has increased by at least 5 times. Abe Yinri's face changed drastically. Being able to break the chains meant that they had the ability to hurt him. Onmyoji were mages, and their physique was not strong, and their defense was far inferior to warriors. Faced with the undead army rushing towards him, Abe Yinri quickly formed a large number of hand seals. A huge rune flew out of his hand, and the 8 Shikigami who were originally besieging Bai Yiyuan disappeared at the same time and instantly appeared beside Abe Yinri. Skill: Shikigami Fusion. Ultimate Summon. The rune turned into a huge formation, with 8 Shikigami standing at each corner of the formation. Abe Yinri appeared in the center of the formation. The center of the formation seemed to open a passage to another space, and a terrifying aura permeated out. The undead army launched an attack on the formation, but the formation was extremely strong and could not be shaken. Even the skeleton berserkers' burst skills could only cause some shaking in the formation, but could not destroy it. Interesting. Bai Yiyuan came to Lin Mochen's side. I've long heard that the ultimate skill of the Sakura country's Onmyoji is to summon the legendary Shikigami, Yamata no Orochi. Lin Mochen had heard of Yamata no Orochi, and like Susanoo, it was a legendary Shikigami. But Yamata no Orochi was far stronger than Susanoo. Summoning it could be said to be the most sought-after pursuit of the Onmyoji. In the history of Sakura country, only 2 Onmyoji have mastered this skill. Obviously, Abe Yinri became the third person. The aura of Yamata no Orochi became stronger and stronger. Abe Yinri said, once the summon begins, it cannot be stopped. Bai Yiyuan, Lin Mochen, prepare to become Yamata no Orochi's food. A blue eye appeared in the center of the formation, and then a huge snake head slowly emerged. Lin Mochen frowned. I don't like this aura. The aura of Yamata no Orochi was not only gloomy, but also had a rotten smell, which reminded Lin Mochen of the smell in the corpse realm. The blood essence of the god of poison appeared in his hand, and green light filled the air. The poison lich appeared in response. Bai Yiyuan had already fled far away when Lin Mochen took out the blood essence of the god of poison. This poison was no joke. After appearing, the poison lich turned into a green light and rushed to the front of the summoning formation, exploding silently. Yamata no Orochi, who had just revealed half of its head, let out a scream and quickly shrank back. The summoning skill was instantly interrupted. Abe Yinri was shocked again. How could such a thing happen? All thinking ended here, and no one answered all the questions. It had already fallen into the poisonous encirclement, and its body began to rot rapidly. Although it was a level 93 intermediate god, the mage's body was too weak. Unlike other god-level mages, who could still put up a shield, perhaps there would be a chance to escape. After coming into contact with the poison, it began to rot, and a heart-wrenching scream came from its mouth. Its hands quickly turned into bones, and then the bones began to melt. The poison of the god of poison was no joke. Even Bai Yiyuan would have trouble if he touched it, let alone him. Not only was Abe Yinri swallowed by the poison, but his 8 Shikigami were not spared either, and were also shrouded in the poison. The Shikigami's screams came one after another, obviously extremely painful. Lin Mochen glanced at it and knew that the outcome was already decided. Teacher, I'm sorry, I couldn't let you see Yamata no Orochi. Bai Yiyuan laughed, I've already seen it. It's just a level 95 monster. It's not as good as the bloodthirsty python, it's nothing. Bai Yiyuan had experienced countless battles and had extremely sharp eyes. He could see at a glance that the so-called ultimate summoning Shikigami of the Onmyoji was just a level 95 monster, and Bai Yiyuan didn't take it seriously. The Onmyoji's trump card was really nothing more than that in his eyes. The poisonous gas gradually dissipated, and Lin Mochen immediately ordered the undead army to attack the barrier. Bai Yiyuan also turned around and shattered the barrier with a few punches. Outside the barrier, Yamamoto no was waiting anxiously. The moment he saw the barrier, he knew that the Black Dragon Society had really colluded with the Abyss Demons. 217. Normally speaking, as a human, he should have shattered the barrier as soon as possible to help Bai Yiyuan exterminate the Black Dragon Society. But after all, it was the Black Dragon Society, the most powerful guild in Sakura country. And he was a god-level powerhouse in Sakura country. Just as he was indecisive and in a dilemma, the barrier shattered. The battle ended in just 5 minutes. Wasn't that too fast? Bai Yiyuan glanced at Yamamoto no coldly. Yamamoto, Abe Yinri is dead, and the Black Dragon Society is officially removed from the list from today onwards. If there is a next time, it will not only be the Black Dragon Society that is removed from the world, but also your Sakura country. After saying that, Bai Yiyuan and Lin Mochin flew away. Yamamoto no saw the Black Dragon Society manor surrounded by poisonous gas, and his face changed drastically. At this time, 3 god-level powerhouses belonging to Sakura country flew over and asked Yamamoto no about what happened. Their faces were somewhat humiliated, being beaten to their door by Bai Yiyuan, killing people, setting fires, and leaving, but they didn't even dare to fart. But in fact, their strength was too far from Bai Yiyuan, and they really didn't dare to do anything. 21. Seal this place off, don't let anyone near, this poison is too terrifying. When did Bai Yiyuan learn to use poison? And such potent poison at that? Heaven knows, the name, God of Slaughter, wasn't given for nothing. Tell everyone, don't provoke Bai Yiyuan, and don't provoke Lin Moi. Disband the Black Dragon Society, investigate which people are colluding with the Abyss Demons, kill them all, and send the list to the Divine Summer Empire. Chapter 510, Divine Stone Instance, Blind Date Meeting. The news of Bai Yiyuan and Lin Moi forcefully breaking into the Sakura country's capital and destroying the Black Dragon Society's headquarters quickly spread. It quickly caused a huge uproar. Some people felt that Bai Yiyuan was too domineering, acting like this without presenting any evidence, and was simply slapping the Sakura country in the face. Some even elevated Bai Yiyuan's actions to the level of the Divine Summer Empire. They felt that the Divine Summer Empire was also so domineering and unreasonable. However, many people agreed with Bai Yiyuan's actions, feeling that there was nothing to say about anyone who colluded with the Abyss Demons. In the end, everyone had to admit that having a big fist was the only truth. Bai Yiyuan just had a big fist, and the Divine Summer Empire just had a big fist, so no one dared to say anything. Not to mention other forces or countries. Even the Sakura country itself dared not say anything, obviously swallowing their grievances, just swallowing it down. Being inferior to others was also something that couldn't be helped. In Bai Shen's small courtyard, Lin Moi was still making tea for Bai Yiyuan and Meng Anwen. Teacher, the Sakura country and our Divine Summer Empire. Bai Yiyuan interrupted Lin Moi, don't worry, nothing will happen. Meng Anwen said, the Sakura country wouldn't dare, they wouldn't dare go to war with us. Bai Yiyuan said, how much strength do those guys have? If I'm unhappy one day, I can destroy them all by myself. Lin Moi knew that Bai Yiyuan definitely had this strength. Meng Anwen laughed, don't brag, you can't destroy the Sakura country, unless the old man takes action. Lin Moi's eyes showed confusion, are there hidden experts in the Sakura country? Meng Anwen said, there is one, in the Sakura country's ancestral temple, there is a god of thought. Once it awakens, it can unleash level 98 combat power in a short period of time, only slightly weaker than a half-step transcendent. Lin Moi was slightly surprised, then why have they never used it? Meng Anwen chuckled, that's a trump card, it can't be used easily. And each time it's used, it takes at least 10 years to recover, and that's only if the ancestral temple is complete and the Sakura country is intact. Lin Moi asked, how long can it last each time it awakens? Bai Yiyuan said, each time it can only last for 24 hours. 24 hours was quite long, enough to do many things. For example, destroying most of the Divine Summer Empire's territory and causing countless casualties. In the Divine Summer Empire, no one except that half-step transcendent could stop it. This was also the Sakura country's confidence. Don't think that Bai Yiyuan was just talking tough, he really couldn't do it. He didn't expect that there would be such a trump card in the small Sakura country. However, this trump card would only be used in the event of extinction, when they were desperate. The god of thought was like the angelic spirit that Lin Moi had encountered in the Wind and Thunder Sea. It was a god formed by the gathering of vast thoughts. The strength of the god depended on the quantity and strength of the thoughts. The angelic spirit was already considered weak among the gods of thought. Thoughts either don't form, or they start at level 90 pseudo-god. The Sakura country had at least hundreds of millions of people, far more than the Holy See. Hundreds and thousands of years of accumulation had made their god of thought stronger and stronger. Lin Moi asked, do we have a god of thought? Meng Anwen shook his head. No, our divine summer empire doesn't believe in these things. Bai Yiyuan said, we also tried it once, but later an old ancestor left a message, saying not to mess with any god of thought, it's not good for the divine summer empire. After that, we never did it again, and even demolished the few statues we had made before. Lin Moi found it strange, he didn't expect there to be such a saying. New questions arose in his heart, and he could ask Antares when he saw it next time. Lin Moi was still a little curious about the god of thought. Ding! The communicators in the hands of the three suddenly rang at the same time. The three received a message at the same time. After Lin Moi read it, he murmured, Divine Stone Instance, what is this? Meng Anwen sighed softly, time really flies, another 10 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Bai Yiyuan took a sip of tea, Divine Stone Instance, it opens once every 10 years. Each time, the military will invite some people to clear the instance, the rewards inside are not bad. Lin Moi showed an interested light, the Divine Stone Instance, sounded very powerful. Bai Yiyuan looked at his interested appearance, laughed loudly, and patted his shoulder, don't even think about it, this instance is not for you. Meng Anwen said, actually, the rewards are secondary, the environment in this instance is complex, the battles are fierce, and it can be regarded as a practical test. So it's all left to the newcomers, and it's also considered a competition. As for you, this time you're invited to be a guest, not to clear the instance. Lin Moi oed, then who will be going? Meng Anwen said, most of them are from the military, after all, this instance was originally in the hands of the military. In addition to the military, there are also people recommended by various families. Each family has 1 or 2 places. Lin Moi asked strangely, the people from the various families, how do they team up? Those who can be sent by the families are all geniuses, and they are extremely arrogant. If they were to team up, it's hard to say whether they can cooperate. Bai Yiyuan said with a smile, this is a single-player instance, no need to team up. By the way, your Yi might be going. Lin Moi's eyes lit up after hearing this. He hadn't seen Ning Yi for a long time, and he had tried to contact Ning Yi after returning this time, but he still couldn't get in touch. He knew that Ning Yi must have been pulled to undergo some special training again. Living in this kind of big family was actually not easy. Things like special training were almost always happening. Big families would not let their children fall behind others, and they would inevitably undergo extremely strict training. Meng Anwen also echoed Bai Yiyuan's words, Yi is indeed very likely to go. As far as I know, that guy Ning Taran has been coveting the final reward of the Divine Stone Instance for a long time. Lin Moi was curious, what exactly is the final reward of this instance? Meng Anwen said, half a piece of Talent Divine Stone, you already have a complete Talent Divine Stone, this half a piece of Talent Divine Stone is of no use to you. A diaresis A can half a piece be used? Lin Moi was puzzled, the Divine Stone was indeed a magical thing when it was a whole piece. But can half a piece also be used? Meng Anwen gave an affirmative answer, it can be used, but the effect is greatly reduced, at most there is only a 30% chance to awaken a talent. A complete Talent Divine Stone had a 100% chance of awakening a talent. Half a Talent Divine Stone only had a 30% chance, and that was only when other methods were used to supplement it. It seemed extremely unfair, but awakening a talent was a good thing even if there was only a 1% chance. It was useless to him, but it was still a good thing for others. Bai Yiyuan grinned, actually, the Divine Stone Instance, in addition to the clearance rewards and the competition between the younger generation of various families, has another meaning. He showed a mysterious look, it's also a blind date meeting between the young people of various families. Lin Moi was stunned, he didn't expect there to be such a thing. The young people from various families didn't refer to the few who were sent to clear the instance, there was also a large group of young people who would come over. These young people from various families, who were usually arrogant, would also spark different sparks when they gathered together. 22. There were frictions, but some became friends, even lovers. Over time, it changed from a gathering of young people to a matchmaking event. There are still 10 days before the Godstone dungeon opens. According to Meng Anwen, people from various major families should be arriving one after another. The 3 of them were invited guests and were not in a hurry to go. The Godstone dungeon is located near the 4th fortress in the meta battlefield. Meng Anwen could teleport directly there, which would only take a few minutes. After discussing, they decided to go in 7 days. The dungeon hall in Shajing Academy is always bustling with activity. Outside the dungeon hall, hundreds or thousands of people gathered together, either shouting to form teams or setting up stalls to sell goods. Besides resting and attending classes, the students of Shajing Academy spend most of their time here. Lin Moi emerged from the teleportation array and walked into the dungeon hall. His appearance once again attracted everyone's attention, and the dungeon hall became so quiet that a pin could be heard dropping. Lin Moi was also helpless. This is what happens when you become famous. Junior Lin, a pleasant voice sounded in his ear. Lin Moi turned his head and smiled slightly. Hello, Senior Shu. Chapter 511, Kunlun Shrine, Hidden Dungeon. Shu Han was as elegant as ever, smiling faintly, exuding a certain noble temperament. Shu Han has a very good family background. Her grandfather is the medicine god. There is only one alchemist who has reached the god level in the entire human race, and his status is extremely high. Her brother is also the vice president of the School of Alchemy at Shajing Academy, a genius alchemist. He is very likely to become the second medicine god. With the two of them, Shu Han's status is actually very high. Lin Moi never understood why Shu Han wanted to be a guide or commentator. She shouldn't be short of points. Or is Shu Han just doing it for fun? Shu Han didn't explain, and Lin Moi naturally wouldn't ask too much. Junior Lin is famous again. Shu Han smiled like a flower, seemingly teasing, but without making anyone feel disgusted. The slight unpleasantness from the last time he met the medicine god had long disappeared. Lin Moi was never a petty person and wouldn't hold such things in his heart. Lin Moi said softly, Hello, Senior Shu, are you here to do a mission again? Shu Han smiled and said, Yes, does Junior Lin need a guide? She said it casually, and Lin Moi responded casually, Okay, I happen to have a question. I want to find a dungeon suitable for me to level up, please recommend one, Senior Shu. Shu Han looked at Lin Moi. Junior Lin is already level 53, and leveling up is very slow after level 50. With Junior Lin's skills, you need to find a dungeon with many monsters and that isn't complicated. As for whether good equipment drops, it's not important. Listening to Shu Han analyzing his needs word by word, each item was very fitting, accurately hitting his thoughts about the dungeon. Moreover, Shu Han could actually see that he was level 53, while he couldn't see Shu Han's level and profession without using detection skills. Obviously, Shu Han's level was not low, at least 10 levels higher than his own. However, Shu Han had never revealed it, or even mentioned it. As a sign of respect for a friend, Lin Moi had never asked. After Shu Han finished analyzing all of Lin Moi's needs, she came to a conclusion. According to your requirements, there is no dungeon you need in the dungeon hall. Lin Moi immediately felt like crying and laughing. He didn't expect that this would be the answer. There were hundreds of dungeons in the dungeon hall, but none were suitable for him. His requirements didn't seem high. In Shu Han's analysis, most dungeons focused on good equipment first, and experience second. Many dungeons in the dungeon hall had the characteristics of tests, and were carefully selected by the predecessors of Shajing Academy before being brought back. Similarly, the amount of experience was placed second, and the equipment was placed first. For students, a good piece of equipment is far more important than some experience. Levels can always be grinded up over time, but equipment is hard to come by. But Lin Moi was the opposite. Lin Moi wanted experience and didn't care about equipment at all. Shu Han said, There is no dungeon suitable for you in the dungeon hall, but there is in the outside world. Lin Moi didn't say anything, quietly listening to Shu Han. Shu Han said, In the northwest of the Divine Sha Empire, there is a mountain range called Kunlun, where there is a special dungeon called Kunlun Shrine. Junior Lin should know the special nature of the Kunlun Shrine dungeon. Lin Moi nodded. I know, a 3-stage dungeon. The Kunlun Shrine dungeon is a very famous dungeon, with a special meaning in the hearts of professionals. Lin Moi had seen it in textbooks before he changed jobs. The special feature of this dungeon lies in its 3 stages. At the foot, waist, and summit of Mount Kunlun, there are 3 dungeons, collectively known as the Kunlun Shrine dungeon. Only by passing the dungeon at the foot of the mountain can you be eligible to enter the dungeon at the waist of the mountain, and finally the dungeon at the summit. Shu Han said, The dungeon at the foot of the mountain is level 55, the dungeon at the waist of the mountain is level 65, and the dungeon at the summit is level 75. It just seamlessly connects, and there are many monsters and experience in the Kunlun dungeon, which is very suitable for you. Her voice gradually softened, and her entire face came closer, whispering in Lin Moi's ear, "Actually, behind the dungeon at the summit, Kunlun Shrine also has a hidden dungeon. That dungeon corresponds to the god level, but the entry requirements are very high, and ordinary people can't enter." Lin Moi was slightly stunned. He didn't expect there to be a hidden dungeon. There was no record of this in the books. Perhaps only some large families would know, and ordinary people would not be able to find out. There are always many secrets in the world that are unknown to ordinary people. Shu Han breathed like orchids. "I believe Junior Lin will definitely be able to meet the requirements." Lin Moi also lowered his voice with Shu Han. "What are the requirements?" "Actually, it's very simple, that is, to achieve a 100-point rating in each of the first 3 dungeons. The rating is judged based on the time to clear the dungeon, the efficiency of killing monsters, the number of people entering the dungeon, and other factors. So this dungeon is very suitable for Junior Lin." Shu Han was a little mischievous, and deliberately blew a breath towards Lin Moi after finishing speaking. The warm wind blew on Lin Moi's ear, making Lin Moi's ear slightly itchy. Shu Han seemed to be doing this for the first time, and her pretty face was also flushed, and she shrank back. Lin Moi nodded. "Thank you, Senior." Shu Han is willing to tell herself this information, which is a sign of trust in herself. The importance of information is not important, what is important is this trust. Lin Moi took out 2 bottles of poisonous flood dragon spinal cord. "Senior Shu, give this to Senior Medicine God." The poisonous flood dragon spinal cord emitted a shimmering glow in the crystal bottle, like 2 perfect gems. Shu Han looked a little dazzled. "What is this?" "The spinal cord of an level 85 world boss, which can detoxify most poisons. Let Senior Medicine God try to make it into a potion to see if it can dissolve corpse poison." When Shu Han heard that it was an level 85 world boss, she knew that this thing was of great value. However, she did not decline. "Thank you, Junior Lin, then Junior's 500 points will not need to be paid, use this to offset it." 23. Lin Moyu smiled. "Okay. The Kunhua Mountains are located on the border of the Divine Sha Empire, covered with snow all year round. The closer to the summit, the greater the wind and snow. At the foot of the Kunlun Mountains lies Kun City. Many people who go to the Kunlun Shrine Dungeon stop in Kun City, making this border town particularly lively. Especially at night, many professionals gather together, talking and laughing. The city is brightly lit, no less than some of the big cities in the Divine Sha Empire. The teleportation array in the city lit up, and Lin Moyu teleported out. The biting wind hit him, but he didn't feel much. Professionals are generally not afraid of cold or heat. Even though the temperature in Kun City is close to 0 degrees, Lin Moyu is still dressed in clean and tidy casual clothes. The military badge on his shoulder had been removed. He walked on the streets of Kun City, unlike many professionals on the road. Almost all main battle professionals wear their own professional uniforms. Only some life-type professionals, who do not need to fight, dress like Lin Moyu. In the eyes of many people, Lin Moyu is a life-type professional. Lin Moyu felt the breath of life, his eyes lingering on the shops on both sides of the street. There are grocery stores, professional shops selling various props, and bars and restaurants. Lin Moyu felt a little out of place. Since becoming a professional, he has been fighting and fighting again, with very little leisure time. He had been to several cities, but never strolled around in them. The life of ordinary professionals seemed very far away from him. It was already night when Lin Moyu arrived. Many professionals had already returned to Kun City, eating large pieces of meat and drinking at the entrance of the city. The restaurants and bars were crowded and lively. Looking up, you can see the distant Kunlun Mountains outside the city. The majestic Kunlun Mountains are as high as 10,000 meters. The mountains stretch for thousands of miles, and are one of the largest mountains among the human race. There are many dungeons and secret realms in the mountains. Among them, the Kunlun Shrine Dungeon is the most famous. From Kun City, the Kunlun Mountains are hidden in the clouds from the mountainside, and cannot be seen with the naked eye. To see the full picture, you can only go there in person. Lin Moyu felt extremely small in front of the Kunlun Mountains. It seemed that there was a peculiar aura in the Kunlun Mountains, which was familiar. Lin Moyu thought for a long time, and murmured in a voice that only he could hear, "The aura of a god." Lin Moyu felt this aura, and he realized that there were gods on Kunlun Mountain. At least there used to be gods. Suddenly a voice came from beside him. "Little brother, do you think Kunlun Mountain is majestic?" Chapter 512. Gao Yong had an accident. Lin Moyu turned his head and saw a middle-aged man by the window in a tavern not far away, waving at him. He was holding a pot of wine in his hand, raising a hand to Lin Moyu. "Little brother, come and have a drink together." The middle-aged man had a hearty smile on his face flushed, obviously drunk. Lin Moyu didn't plan to pay attention at first, but suddenly saw the logo on the middle-aged man's clothes, and changed his mind. That was the logo of Zhongning Academy, and Lin Moyu thought of Gao Yong. During his time at West Sino One High School, Gao Yong was the one who talked to him the most. Even if he didn't say a word, this slightly funny guy could babble and talk to himself for a long time. At that time, he didn't have a friend, and the classmates didn't like to talk to him. Only Gao Yong was an exception. He was also the first friend that Lin Moyu recognized from the bottom of his heart. Later, in the college entrance examination, he entered Shaojing Academy, and Gao Yong entered Zhongning Academy as he wished. Although Zhongning Academy cannot be compared with Shaojing Academy, it is not bad, and it is very close to Shihai City, so Gao Yong can go home to see from time to time. I wonder how this guy is doing in the academy. In the blink of an eye, it has been a year since he last saw Gao Yong. Too many things happened in the past year, and Lin Moyu didn't have much free time. Past memories churned in his mind. Lin Moyu entered the tavern and sat opposite the man. "Senior, are you from Zhongning Academy?" The middle-aged man said heartily, "Little brother recognized me, my name is Feng Ziliu." "Little brother, what did you feel when you saw Kunlun Mountain just now?" Lin Moyu said in a low voice, "I feel very small." Feng Ziliu took a sip of wine. "That's right, that's the feeling. The first time I saw Kunlun Mountain, I also felt very small." "Little brother, I see you are alone, would you like to have a drink with me?" Lin Moyu smiled, "Okay." After a few drinks, Feng Ziliu became more talkative. "Little brother, you have an extraordinary temperament, how could you be a life-type professional?" Feng Ziliu's level was clear to Lin Moyu. Level 42 Berserker, Advanced Professional. And Lin Moyu's level was not something Feng Ziliu could see. Lin Moyu always wore a shielding badge, so even if Feng Ziliu used detection techniques, he wouldn't be able to see it. In addition to Lin Moyu's dress, he was naturally considered a life-type professional. He is now restrained, not to mention Feng Ziliu, even others can't see Lin Moyu's profession. Lin Moyu smiled, temperament should have nothing to do with profession. Feng Ziliu laughed, "That's true, temperament and profession really have nothing to do with each other. Anyway, I have a good feeling about little brother, and I think little brother is extraordinary at first glance. Even if you are a life-type professional, your future achievements will definitely be limitless." Lin Moyu smiled slightly, "Brother Feng, does your academy have a student named Gao Yong, whose profession is Sword Shield Knight?" Feng Ziliu thought for a while and shook his head, "I haven't heard of it." Lin Moyu's eyes showed a slight disappointment. Feng Ziliu said again, "I will ask other classmates later, they will be back soon too." "Thank you." Feng Ziliu was very generous, "You're welcome." The two chatted casually for a few more words, and 5 people entered the tavern one after another. Their clothes all had the logo of Zhongning Academy. Feng Ziliu waved to the people who came. "Here." A few people walked over, and Feng Ziliu asked, "How is it, did you all sell them?" Everyone had smiles on their faces, and one of them exclaimed excitedly, "They're all sold, boss, we made a lot of money this time." Suddenly, he closed his mouth. "Boss, who is he?" Feng Ziliu said, "A new friend I just met. By the way, let me ask you, have you heard of a Sword Shield Knight named Gao Yong in the academy?" Gao Yong, Sword Shield Knight. A few people looked thoughtful, then shook their heads again. Lin Moyu sighed softly in his heart. In a higher academy, the number of students is at least 1,000, and at most tens of thousands. Gao Yong is unknown, so it is normal that no one has heard of him. At this moment, someone suddenly exclaimed, "I seem to have heard of such a person." Lin Moyu looked up and saw that the speaker was a female therapist, only level 40. The aura of the second turn still existed on her body, indicating that she had just completed the second turn less than 10 days ago. She said, "I heard my roommates mention that a Sword Shield Knight named Gao Yong had an accident in a new student trial." Lin Moyu raised his eyebrows and asked urgently, "What accident?" 24. I don't know exactly what the accident was, but I heard the injuries were quite severe, and even the best healers in the academy couldn't do anything about it. Normally, minor injuries can be quickly healed by a healer. Even if an arm or leg is broken, a divine-level healer can regrow it. Moreover, the freshman trials that Gao Yang participates in are generally very safe, and the teachers in the academy will take care of them, so accidents are unlikely to happen. What happened later? Didn't the academy ask for better healers? Lin Mo Yu asked patiently. The man shook his head. I don't know about that. Feng Ziliu said in a low voice, I know a little about this. The best healer in the academy is already level 85. If he can't do anything, then we can only ask a divine-level healer to take action. But divine-level healers are not easy to ask for. There are only a few in the empire, and ordinary people can't afford them. Lin Mo Yu suppressed the anxiety in his heart. Help me find out where Gao Yang has gone. At this time, Lin Mo Yu's tone had changed, no longer a negotiation but more like an order. Several faces showed displeasure. Feng Ziliu gave them a look. Go ask. Seeking fresh flowers a 0. They still gave Feng Ziliu face and used the communicator to inquire. Feng Ziliu asked Lin Mo Yu, Brother Lin, is Gao Yang your friend? Lin Mo Yu gave a hum, he's my high school classmate. Feng Ziliu smiled, no wonder Brother Lin is so young, so you just changed jobs. It's good to be young. He didn't look down on Lin Mo Yu because he was a newly transferred professional, but the other people's faces showed impatience. They all felt that what qualifications did a mere life-type professional have to give orders to them here? Now it seems that he is not only a life-type professional, but also a freshman. What level is he at? What does he count for? If it weren't for Feng Ziliu's sake, what qualifications would Lin Mo Yu have to sit here? After a while, there was finally a response. I found out that the academy couldn't treat Gao Yang, so they gave Gao Yang a sum of money and sent him home. His home seems to be in Shihai City. After the female therapist finished speaking, suddenly she saw a blur before her eyes, and Lin Mo Yu had disappeared. Only Lin Mo Yu's sentence, thank you, still echoed in everyone's ears. Everyone was stunned. What just happened? Why did this person disappear without a trace? Is he a human or a ghost? How terrifying. Could it be that we saw a ghost? Could it be a dead soul from Kunlun Mountain? A few seconds later, Feng Ziliu suddenly exclaimed, I know who he is. Who is it? Boss, tell us quickly. Feng Ziliu said, if I'm not mistaken, he should be Lin Mo Yu. Everyone couldn't believe it. Lin Mo Yu's name has been too loud in the last 6 months. Especially a few days ago, Lin Mo Yu and Bai Yiyuan went to Sakura country together and forcefully wiped out the Black Dragon Society. Lin Mo Yu has become a legend. But how could such a legendary figure appear here? Even talking to himself, shouldn't he be high above? Boss, could you be mistaken? Some people thought it was unlikely. Feng Ziliu shook his head, there's an 80 or 90% chance I'm not wrong. General Lin just completed his job transfer about a year ago, and his classmates are all freshmen. Moreover, General Lin's hometown is in Shihai City. Just now you said that Gao Yang's hometown is also in Shihai City, right? His surname is Lin, he is a classmate with Gao Yang, and he possesses almost ghostly speed. There are such coincidences in the world. After Feng Ziliu's analysis, everyone felt that it was indeed the case. Feng Ziliu drank a large mouthful of wine. No wonder I felt his temperament was so extraordinary just now. No wonder his tone suddenly became aloof just now. We are really blind. Towel, Chapter 513, Return a Healthy Son to You. Shihai City, the teleportation array flickered, and then Lin Mo Yu rushed out of the teleportation array and disappeared into the end of the street in an instant. The 2 city guard soldiers guarding the teleportation array showed shocked expressions at the same time, and looked at each other. Did someone just pass by? It should be, but I didn't see clearly. I didn't see clearly either. Could it be that we saw a ghost? Not really, the teleportation array really lit up. A super strong person should have come, but the speed was too fast for us to see clearly. Should we tell the city lord? Forget it, let's just pretend nothing happened. The 2 discussed it and decided to pretend they didn't see anything. They couldn't control this kind of thing, so it was better not to. Lin Moyu rushed back from Kuncheng at the fastest speed, transferring several times in succession, and returned to Shihai City in just 2 minutes. Then he rushed directly to Gao Yang's house at the fastest speed. The night in Shihai City was extremely quiet, forming a clear contrast with the brightly lit Kuncheng. The lights in Gao Yang's house were still on. Lin Moyu could feel the aura of healing magic. Only long-term, continuous use of healing magic would leave such a strong aura. There were 3 people in this small house. One person was lying on the bed, his breath extremely weak. It was Gao Yang. The other 2 were Gao Yang's parents. Gao Yang's parents were both ordinary life-type professionals, with a stable job. The income was not generous, but it was okay. Originally, Gao Yang became a sword and shield knight, and the family's life should have improved and become better. But now, Lin Moyu knocked on the door. The door opened, and a middle-aged woman with a worried face opened the door. "A child, who are you looking for?" The middle-aged woman did not recognize Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was very polite. "Auntie, hello, I am Gao Yang's classmate from Shihai No. 1 high school. I heard that something happened to him, so I came to see him." The middle-aged woman heard that he was Gao Yang's classmate, and quickly let him in. "So you are Yang Yang's classmate, come in quickly." So Gao Yang's nickname was Yang Yang. The tall and big Gao Yang actually had such a cute nickname. Lin Moyu found it very interesting. When Gao Yang gets better, he can use it to joke with him. Entering the house, Lin Moyu saw Gao Yang's father. Gao Yang's father and Gao Yang had 5 or 6 points of similarity. Since Gao Yang had an accident, both of them had not been doing well. Gao Yang's father's hair was already gray, which should not be the appearance he should have at this age. Lin Moyu came to Gao Yang's room. The door opened, and Lin Moyu saw Gao Yang lying on the bed. Gao Yang was awake, looking at the sky, his eyes lifeless. 25. Both of his legs were broken off, all the way to the root of his thighs. His hands, for some unknown reason, had completely withered, skin wrapped around bone, a terrifying sight. His breathing was extremely weak, as if he was just 1 breath away from death. Hearing the sound of the door opening, Gao Yang didn't react at all. It wasn't until Lin Moyu appeared in his sight that a glimmer of light appeared in Gao Yang's eyes, and he rasped in an extremely hoarse voice, "Why are you here?" Looking at Gao Yang's current state, Lin Moyu felt a pang of heartache. "Why didn't you tell me?" Lin Moyu knew that Gao Yang definitely had ways to contact him. For example, through the principal of West Sea No. 1 high school, through the city lord of West Sea City, or by directly sending someone to Sha Jing Academy to find him. Even if they couldn't find him, they could contact him through Sha Shui. There were always ways. Gao Yang struggled to make a sound. "It's useless." Lin Moyu snorted softly. "How do you know it's useless?" Gao Yang said, "Even the level 85 healers in the academy were useless. They said that even a divine level healer might not be able to do anything." Lin Moyu said with a hint of disdain, "What's level 85? I've killed several divine levels. They said you were poisoned or something." Gao Yang shook his head. "I don't know." It was precisely because he didn't know that it was most troublesome. Jiangning Academy was at least a top-ranked academy, and it had no shortage of healers and pharmacists. But they couldn't figure out the reason. They even said that even a divine-level healer might not be able to do anything. This was what plunged Gao Yang into despair. Gao Yang recounted what had happened back then. They were on a trial in a secret realm when the accident happened, not to him, but to someone else. As a knight, Gao Yang instinctively went to save the person. As a result, he didn't save the person, and he himself got trapped. I remember, I pulled him out at the time, and then I fell in. It was a small swampy cave, and half of my body was stuck in it, unable to get out. By the time my classmates pulled me out, my legs were gone. The strange thing was that my legs didn't bleed, and the wounds had already healed themselves. Gao Yang's voice grew softer and softer. In this short period of time, Lin Moyu noticed that his aura had weakened a lot. His life force was draining away. Lin Moyu could clearly feel that Gao Yang's life force was draining away at all times. "It's not poisoning?" Lin Moyu asked. Gao Yang shook his head. "It's not poisoning. I've taken antidotes, but they don't work at all. The pharmacists in the academy also tested me for toxicity and confirmed that I wasn't poisoned." Lin Moyu asked again, "Didn't you feel anything at the time?" Gao Yang still shook his head. "I didn't feel anything, no pain or itching. Not just then, but now either." Lin Moyu sensed Gao Yang with his mental power, but there was nothing unusual. Let's try it first. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and took out the spinal cord of the poisonous flood dragon. He opened the bottle, and a refreshing fragrance immediately filled the air. Drink it. Gao Yang trusted Lin Moyu very much. Without even asking what it was, he opened his mouth and drank it. After taking the spinal cord, a flush appeared on Gao Yang's face. Lin Moyu felt Gao Yang's life force rapidly recovering. In the blink of an eye, it had recovered to its limit. The spinal cord of the poisonous flood dragon could not only detoxify, but also possessed a considerable amount of life force. Moreover, after taking the spinal cord of the poisonous flood dragon, Gao Yang's immunity to poison elements could also be improved to some extent. When Gao Yang's life force reached its peak, it suddenly took a sharp turn. Like falling off a cliff, it plummeted to the bottom. Lin Moyu frowned. It seems a little better than before, but not much. Gao Yang was used to it. I've eaten a lot of things that can enhance life force, but it's always like this, it's useless. His eyes were full of despair. Lin Moyu said, don't be discouraged, I'll take you to heal your injuries. Gao Yang said, don't bother, it's really useless. It's good enough that you came to see me, don't waste your time and energy. The pain had tormented a cheerful and sunny person into this state, and Lin Moyu felt very sad. Stop talking nonsense, listen to me. Lin Moyu saw a wheelchair in the corner of the bed and directly put Gao Yang in the wheelchair. He pushed Gao Yang out. Uncle and aunt, I'm taking Gao Yang to heal his injuries. Gao Yang's parents were stunned. This young man who suddenly appeared actually said that he was going to take Gao Yang to heal his injuries. Child, where are you going to heal him? We've already invited a lot of people, but it's useless. Yes, child, it's not that we don't believe you, but ordinary healers and pharmacists are useless. Gao Yang's parents were very kind. It wasn't that they didn't believe Lin Moyu, but they felt that Gao Yang's injuries were difficult to treat. Lin Moyu said, don't worry, the person I'm looking for will definitely be able to cure Gao Yang. Gao Yang said in a low voice, Dad, Mom, believe Moyu. Then I'll prepare Gao Yang's things. Gao Yang's mother still chose to believe Gao Yang and Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu said, there's no need to prepare, there's everything there. Time is of the essence, I'll take Gao Yang over now. I'll return a healthy son to you in these few days. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and a stream of air pushed open the door. Then the lightning undead wings spread out, and Lin Moyu helped the wheelchair to fly up. We're leaving. In the shocked eyes of Gao Yang's parents, Lin Moyu left with Gao Yang. The two were stunned. This child can fly. To be able to fly, he must be at least a top-level professional. How can Yang Yang have such a powerful classmate? Do you remember what Yang Yang called him just now? Moyu, Moyu, Lin Moyu. The two opened their mouths at the same time, numb with shock. Who hasn't heard of Lin Moyu's name now? It's actually General Lin, it's actually General Lin. Gao Yang's father muttered to himself, his whole body trembling uncontrollably. Gao Yang's mother's face showed even more joy. That's great, our Yang Yang is saved. That's great, our Yang Yang is saved. She said repeatedly, and as she spoke, tears couldn't stop falling. Chapter 514. The Culprit, Soul-Devouring Beast. Lin Moyu did not choose the teleportation array. Gao Yang's current situation was somewhat similar to Han Donger's when she was poisoned, even worse. In this situation, he couldn't withstand the tearing force of the teleportation array at all. Lin Moyu could only fly with him, and he couldn't fly too fast. Lin Moyu shrouded Gao Yang with his power, so that the cold wind in the air would not blow on him, and flew towards Shajing Academy. Before he could fly out of West Sea City, a person rose into the air and blocked Lin Moyu's path. The Empire has regulations that prohibit flying over cities. 26. The person was dressed in armor, like a soldier. Judging from the soldier's badge on his shoulder, he was a 5-star second lieutenant. Lin Moyu didn't want to waste time with him right now, so he directly took out his soldier's badge and placed it on his shoulder. The purple Divine General badge shimmered with noble light in the night. The 3 general stars on it were even more dazzling. The person immediately stood at attention and saluted. Shindong, a 5-star second lieutenant from the Western Sea City garrison, pays respects to the Divine General. Lin Moyu grunted in acknowledgement. Step aside, I have urgent business. How dare Shindong stop a Divine General? Their statuses were worlds apart, so he stepped aside without another word. Lin Moyu continued to fly towards Shajing Academy with Gao Yang. Seeing Lin Moyu leave, Shindong breathed a sigh of relief, but suddenly saw Lin Moyu stop again. Because he was carrying Gao Yang, Lin Moyu's speed couldn't be too fast, maintaining around 100 km per hour. The straight line distance between Western Sea City and Shaojing City was about 2,000 kilometers, so it would take him nearly 20 hours to arrive. He would pass through many cities along the way, and might even be stopped. Moreover, it wouldn't be easy for Gao Yang to sit for 20 hours. Lin Moyu turned around and said to Shindong, "If I remember correctly, the city garrison should have flying battleships, right?" Shindong said, "Yes, but they are not in Western Sea City, but in the provincial military region." Lin Moyu said, "Go over there now with my order and bring a flying battleship back." The human race also had flying battleships, although their performance was not as good as the dragon race, they were more than enough to be used as transportation. The Divine General's order was the highest command in the military, so Shindong immediately accepted the order and left. He wasn't an idiot, and he guessed what was going on as soon as he heard Lin Moyu's order. He used the military's teleportation array to arrive at the provincial military region, and soon a flying battleship took off directly and flew towards Western Sea City. Gao Yang smiled with a weak voice, "Moyu, you are getting more and more amazing." Lin Moyu said, "No matter how amazing I am, I'm still your classmate. When your injuries are healed, I'll send you to Shaojing Academy. You will definitely become a powerful professional in the future." Influenced by Lin Moyu, Gao Yang seemed to have some expectations for life. "Can someone like me get into Shaojing Academy?" Lin Moyu said decisively, "If I say you can, then you can." He believed that as long as he spoke, Shaojing Academy would definitely give him face. This kind of exception wasn't unprecedented in history, and even if he had to pay some price, Lin Moyu was determined to send Gao Yang there. 10 minutes later, a warship appeared in the night sky. Lin Moyu took Gao Yang onto the warship. As a 3-star divine general, he had become the warship's supreme commander. The shield, which would only be activated during wartime, opened, blocking the strong winds. The warship flew towards Shaojing Academy at its fastest speed. At the warship's speed, it would take less than an hour to reach Shaojing Academy. Lin Moyu had already contacted Shu Han halfway. He wanted to see Divine Dr. Shu. When it came to treating injuries, Divine Dr. Shu was the only one in the entire human race. Moreover, Divine Dr. Shu knew a divine-level healer, and his words would be much more effective than Lin Moyu's. Even if he had to pay some price, Lin Moyu had to save Gao Yang. An hour later, the warship stopped outside Shaojing City. Shindong said, "Sir, we can't go in anymore. Local warships are not allowed to enter the capital unless there is a war." Lin Moyu understood this principle. "Thank you for your hard work." Shindong was overwhelmed by the favor and quickly shook his head. "It's not hard, it's my honor to serve Divine General Lin." Lin Moyu nodded, "Thank you." After saying that, he took Gao Yang and flew towards Shaojing Academy, leaving the warship. As soon as he entered the area of Shaojing City, city garrison soldiers immediately greeted him. No one was allowed to fly over Shaojing City. Of course, this didn't include divine generals like Lin Moyu. Divine generals were the highest-ranking generals in the Divine Xia Empire, with the same status as divine-level experts, and possessed many privileges. Free flight over the city was one of the privileges. Lin Moyu proceeded unimpeded all the way and landed directly at the entrance of Shaojing Academy. Shu Han was already waiting there and immediately went to Divine Dr. Shu's residence with Lin Moyu. In Divine Dr. Shu's residence, Divine Dr. Shu had also received Shu Han's message and was already waiting. Not only Divine Dr. Shu, but Meng Anwen had also come. Lin Moyu had notified him, and Lin Moyu had explained Gao Yang's situation, which aroused Meng Anwen's interest. "Greetings, teacher, greetings, Divine Dr. Shu." Lin Moyu pushed the wheelchair over. Gao Yang's face was flushed unnaturally, and he was very excited. He had seen a real big shot, the only divine doctor of the human race, the legendary An Shen. This was something he had never dared to dream of. Gao Yang even had the emotion of having no regrets even if he died. Lin Moyu explained Gao Yang's matter, and it was the same as what Gao Yang himself said, without the slightest omission. After listening, Divine Dr. Shu and Meng Anwen began to carefully examine Gao Yang. Gao Yang's broken leg had long healed, leaving only a layer of scar, which looked a little hideous. According to Gao Yang, it had been like this since he was injured. After some examination, Meng Anwen said softly, "On the surface, there is no problem. As he spoke, he shot a ray of light from his fingertip and landed on Gao Yang. Gao Yang's vitality suddenly increased a lot. But as before, after reaching its peak, it quickly declined as if falling into a cliff, plunging into the bottom. Divine Dr. Shu also took out a bottle of potion for Gao Yang to take. Gao Yang's vitality increased rapidly again, and then fell rapidly. It's really strange. Meng Anwen couldn't figure it out for a while. Divine Dr. Shu said, there seems to be a bottomless pit in his body, constantly devouring his vitality. No matter how much vitality there is, it can be absorbed in an instant. Meng Anwen nodded. If we look at the speed at which it devours, it would be enough to suck Gao Yang into a dried corpse in an instant, but why has it kept Gao Yang alive until now? Could it be a slow and steady stream? Speaking of this, Meng Anwen suddenly raised his head and looked at Divine Dr. Shu. The two thought of the same thing. Divine Dr. Shu said, if that's the case, then let's lure it out. Meng Anwen smiled, okay, then let it come out and see what it is. A flash of light flashed in Meng Anwen's hand, and a high tower appeared in midair. The Divine Sha Tower shot out light and enveloped Gao Yang. Lin Moyu clearly felt that Gao Yang's soul seemed to be about to leave his body. The Divine Sha Tower was extracting Gao Yang's soul. It's just that Gao Yang didn't die, and the soul couldn't be easily extracted. At this time, Divine Dr. Shu took out another bottle of potion for Gao Yang to take. Sleep, child, you'll be fine when you wake up. After taking the potion, Gao Yang trembled slightly, closed his eyes and fell asleep. Not only was he asleep, but even his breathing stopped. From an outsider's point of view 460, Gao Yang was dead. If Lin Moyu couldn't feel that Gao Yang's soul was still there, he might have thought that Gao Yang was dead. Divine Dr. Shu said, this potion can put Gao Yang into a state of suspended animation. Lin Moyu knew that Divine Dr. Shu was saying this to himself, and immediately said, Junior understands. Less than 10 seconds after Gao Yang's suspended animation, a strange force suddenly appeared. As soon as it appeared, it pounced on Gao Yang's soul, wanting to devour Gao Yang's soul, just like devouring vitality. Meng Anwen had been waiting for this moment, and with a light shout, the Divine Sha Tower buzzed and directly extracted Gao Yang's soul. Gao Yang's soul was transparent, small, and only the size of a fist. 27. Gao Yang's soul, illuminated by the light of the Divine Summer Pagoda, left his body and flew into the pagoda. Immediately afterward, another transparent object flew out. This thing looked like a puppy, also only the size of a palm. Its entire body was illusory, and its face was ferocious. Freeze! Meng Anwen shouted softly, and the Divine Summer Pagoda shot out a beam of light again, fixing this puppy in midair. The puppy screamed constantly, struggling frantically. However, under the light of the Divine Summer Pagoda, its struggles were futile. Although Lin Moyu didn't know what this thing was, he knew that it was this thing that had harmed Gao Yang into his current state. This guy was the culprit. Shu Yaoshan said softly, what is this thing? I have never seen it before. He was about to go over for a closer look, but he heard Meng Anwen shout, Elder Shu, don't get close. Shu Yaoshan was shocked, and Shen, do you know what this is? Meng Anwen's face was very ugly at this time. If I'm not mistaken, this is a soul-devouring beast. I didn't expect it to reappear in the world. Upon hearing the three words, soul-devouring beast, Shu Yaoshan's face also changed suddenly, becoming extremely unsightly. Chapter 515. This could be a catastrophe. Shu Yaoshan's face was extremely unsightly, and he swallowed hard. And Shen, are you sure you're not mistaken? Meng Anwen also looked solemn and shook his head, I shouldn't be wrong. Seeing that both of them were in such a state, Lin Moyu knew that this matter must be extraordinary. What was a soul-devouring beast? He had never heard of it. However, being able to make the always calm Meng Anwen change color like this, it must be extraordinary. Lin Moyu knew a lot now, having read a lot of materials, and many materials in the Royal Secret Vault had also been read by him. He already knew many things that had happened in the history of the human race, and had been buried. But the soul-devouring beast, Lin Moyu had never seen it, nor had he heard of it. The Yaoshan family, with their family history, had also only heard of it but never seen it. It seemed that the secret about the soul-devouring beast was hidden very, very deeply. Lin Moyu sensed that this soul-devouring beast was not strong, but it was a bit strange. It was the first time he had seen a monster that could exist without a physical body, only with a soul. It was simply the two extremes compared to those monsters in the corpse realm. The monsters in the corpse realm had bodies but no souls, seemingly dead but not dead. And the soul-devouring beast had a soul but no body. It seems like another secret. This soul-devouring beast is really peculiar. Just as Lin Moyu was thinking, a breeze belonging to the detection technique blew past. In an instant, Meng Anwen and Xu Yaoshan's faces changed at the same time. The detection technique was released by Xu Han, and she was also extremely curious about the soul-devouring beast. After the detection technique was released, the soul-devouring beast seemed to have a new target, and its eyes looked at Xu Han. Xu Han felt a chill all over her body, and she was stunned, unable to move. She was locked on by the soul-devouring beast. Then, the soul-devouring beast let out a sound that only souls could hear, and instantly broke free from the Divine Summer Pagoda's lock. It seemed to have entered another space, rushing towards Xu Han. Xu Han's face was bloodless, but she couldn't move at all. Meng Anwen and Xu Yaoshan showed anxious expressions. At this time, a flash of fire flickered in Lin Moyu's palm, and the soul-devouring beast let out a miserable scream. When it was less than a finger's distance from Xu Han, the soul-devouring beast burst into flames. The entire illusory body turned into a ball of flames, quickly burning to ashes. Very weak. The feedback Lin Moyu received was that the soul-devouring beast was very weak, less than level 20. It could be burned to ashes with soul flames. As soon as the soul-devouring beast died, Xu Han seemed to be released from the lock. She couldn't help but let out a delicate cry, retreating several steps, and then fell to the ground. After this battle, Meng Anwen and Xu Yaoshan were completely certain that the puppy-like thing just now was definitely a soul-devouring beast. Meng Anwen's voice was low. I didn't expect that the soul-devouring beast still exists in the world. I one half. After so long, I don't know how many people it has been passed on to. Xu Yaoshan was even more nervous than Meng Anwen. It must be sealed off immediately. The entire Jiangning province must be controlled, and no one from Jiangning province can be allowed to come out. Lin Moyu asked, is it that serious? Meng Anwen nodded, yes, very serious. Xu Yaoshan also continued, it will only be more serious than you think. If it's not handled well, it will be a catastrophe. Lin Moyu also became nervous because of their words. Xu Han finally recovered, still with fear, and said with lingering fear, why couldn't I move just now? Meng Anwen said, because you used the detection technique on the soul-devouring beast, you established a connection with it. Your soul was locked on by it, so you couldn't move. Moreover, it also used the connection between you and it to open a unique soul channel, thereby breaking free from my restraint. If Xiao Yu hadn't killed it with a soul attack, you might have been possessed by it now. Xu Han's face was bloodless with fright. If I were possessed by it, what would happen? Xu Yaoshan said in a low voice, there would be many results. For example, Gao Yang's half-dead state is one of them. If there is a better host, it may kill you and change souls. It is also possible that it thinks you are good, so it will eat your soul and replace you. Xu Han let out a cry, and her delicate body trembled slightly. She almost became like Gao Yang, which was really worse than death. Lin Moyu said, I feel it's very weak, but it definitely won't be so weak. What exactly is it? If it was really so weak, then it wouldn't be worth Meng Anwen's fear like this, let alone the word catastrophe. Meng Anwen said, more than 1,000 years ago, before our Divine Summer Empire was established, there was once a soul-devouring beast disaster, which almost buried the entire human race. The information left at that time is very, very little. Maybe the royal family knows more. The soul-devouring beast itself has no physical body. It is very fragile before finding a host. But once it is possessed, it is difficult to eliminate it. It will hide in the soul of the host, absorbing everything from the host. Vitality, blood, soul power, it can eat anything. The reason why Gao Yang can live to this day may be that the soul-devouring beast has not found a more suitable host. It is also possible that it feels that even if it eats Gao Yang, it may not be of any use. It was entirely possible. After all, Gao Yang was still very weak, and eating his soul would not be of much benefit. The soul is the most mysterious existence, and ordinary people cannot touch it at all. Lin Moyu also came into contact with the soul because of the soul flame skill. If the soul-devouring beast is hidden in the soul, it is indeed very secretive. Then is there no way to eliminate it? Meng Anwen shook his head, there must be. I need to go to the royal family to look up some information, maybe I can find something. The last soul-devouring beast disaster broke out before the establishment of the Divine Summer Empire. The information at that time was very, very little circulating outside. Meng Anwen only knew a little bit. Only the royal family may still retain more detailed information. Meng Anwen pointed his finger, and the divine summer pagoda released light again, falling on Gao Yang's body. Gao Yang's soul flew out of the divine summer pagoda and returned to Gao Yang's body. At this time, Xu Yaoshan took out another bottle of medicine and poured it into Gao Yang. The soul returned to the body, and the medicine was taken. The two cooperated very tacitly, completing it almost at the same time. Meng Anwen shot out another beam of light, falling on Gao Yang's body. Gao Yang's vitality quickly recovered a lot. 28. This time it didn't weaken, and Gao Yang's face also became rosy. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that Gao Yang was fine. As long as the root of the problem is solved, external injuries like broken arms and legs are not a problem. Meng Anwen said, "A diaresis A Gao Yang will be entrusted to Elder Shu, I'll go to the palace." Lin Moyu also said, "I'll go too." He was also very curious about the soul-devouring beast. What kind of creature was it that almost caused the extinction of the human race? Thousands of years ago, although the human race was not strong, there were still divine-level experts. Shu Han said softly, "Let me go too." Xu Yaoshan waved his hand, "You guys go, leave Gao Yang to me, I'll find someone to heal him." Lin Moyu thanked Xu Yaoshan, "Thank you, Senior Yaoshan, if there's anything you need in the future, just let me know." Xu Yaoshan chuckled, "General Lin is too polite, the venomous dragon spinal cord that Xiao Hanner brought is priceless, this little thing is nothing." Meng Anwen cast a hand seal, and the divine Sha pagoda immediately enveloped the three of them, directly teleporting them to the palace gate. Then Meng Anwen's voice rang out clearly, echoing throughout the palace, "Meng Anwen is here uninvited, please, State Lord of the East, come out and meet me." Meng Anwen's voice was neither light nor heavy, densely layered, surrounding the entire palace. Everyone in the palace could hear it clearly, even in their dreams, they could hear Meng Anwen's voice. In just a few seconds, a figure flew out from the palace and landed directly in front of Meng Anwen. Dongfang Yi greets Divine N, and General Lin. Meng greets State Lord of the East. Lin Moyu greets State Lord of the East. The three greeted each other. Dongfang Yi knew that Meng Anwen's sudden arrival late at night must be for something urgent. "Divine N, what's the matter? Just tell me." Meng Anwen immediately told him about the soul-devouring beast. "Forgive Dongfang Yi for being ignorant, I have never heard of what a soul-devouring beast is." Dongfang Yi looked blank. However, being able to make Meng Anwen so nervous, it certainly wouldn't be a trivial matter. Meng Anwen said bluntly, "I know that your royal family has a secret library, I want to search for information about the soul-devouring beast." The secret library that Meng Anwen was referring to was not the ones that Lin Moyu had seen before. Those were just the most superficial things, only somewhat hidden, but definitely not top secret. What Meng Anwen was talking about at this time was the most confidential information. Chapter 516. Misfortune and fortune depend on each other, it may also be an opportunity. Dongfang Yi didn't dare to directly refuse Meng Anwen's request. But wanting to view the most confidential information in the royal family was a major matter, and even he didn't dare to agree rashly. Dongfang Yi said, "Uncle Dongfang Li is in charge of the secret library, I'll ask him if he knows about the soul-devouring beast." Meng Anwen nodded, "Then I'll trouble the State Lord. It's my duty." Dongfang Yi was polite and didn't put on any airs. Dongfang Yi led them to a living room, Dongfang Yi had people serve the best tea, and then went to the secret library himself. After a while, Princess Dongfang Yao walked over. She and Shu Han were close friends, and the two immediately started chatting after meeting. Hearing Shu Han talk about what had just happened, even Dongfang Yao was taken aback. "Sister Han, is this soul-devouring beast really that scary?" Dongfang Yao was empathetic and also very nervous. Shu Han nodded, "It should be very scary, my grandfather's face changed at the time, he was very nervous. Divine N was also similar, fortunately there was General Lin, he saved me." Even now, Shu Han still had lingering fears and hadn't been able to recover from that helpless panic. The key was that the detection technique didn't get any useful information and almost killed herself. She couldn't imagine how there could be such a terrifying thing as a soul-devouring beast in the world. Dongfang Yao glanced at Lin Moyu without leaving a trace, and then hummed in a voice that only she could hear. She wouldn't forget that Lin Moyu refused to lend her the skeleton. Although Lin Moyu had promised to save her mother, and she had almost killed Lin Moyu. But one thing is one thing, a girl's thoughts are incomprehensible to outsiders. Not to mention outsiders, sometimes even they don't quite understand themselves. Shu Han saw Dongfang Yao's small expression. Don't blame General Lin, General Lin will definitely save you if he has the ability. This time General Lin also took 2 drops of venomous dragon spinal cord that can detoxify, saying that Grandpa will prepare medicine to see if it can dissolve the corpse poison. That's the spinal cord of a level 85 world boss, a priceless treasure. Dongfang Yao whispered, really? Shu Han nodded, what am I lying to you for, of course it's true. Lin Moyu was also talking to Meng Anwen at this time. Teacher, do you think there will be information about the soul-devouring beast in the royal family? Meng Anwen said, the divine Xia royal family has been passed down for thousands of years. In the past 1,000 years, there have been ups and downs, and various families have risen and fallen, but only the royal family has remained standing. If even they don't have information about the soul-devouring beast, then other families won't have it either. Moreover, this time, to deal with the soul-devouring beast, we must also use the power of the royal family. Lin Moyu understood what Meng Anwen meant. To seal off a province and lock down a city, in addition to the military's power, there must also be the administrative power of various places. These administrative powers are all in the hands of the royal family. Without the royal family issuing orders, even if it can seal off a province and a city, the result will definitely be a major mess. Lin Moyu said in a low voice, everything generates and overcomes each other, there will definitely be a solution. If there is no information here in the royal family, I can ask it. It? Meng Anwen was shocked, are you talking about the one in the core area? Lin Moyu hummed, it has lived for who knows how many years, it should know something about the soul-devouring beast. Meng Anwen nodded, although I haven't talked to it, I still know some legends about it. It is said that it is omniscient. Lin Moyu chuckled, that's not entirely true. Footsteps sounded, Dongfang Yi and Dongfang Li walked side by side. Dongfang Li was in charge of the Royal Secret Library, and he had read almost all the information in the secret library. Meng Anwen asked directly, how is it? Dongfang Li took out an extremely ancient book, here is all the information about the soul-devouring beast. The information about the soul-devouring beast is too old and messy. Our royal family did a revision 800 years ago and recorded all the information about the soul-devouring beast together. Meng Anwen quickly flipped through it. With his ability, photographic memory was just child's play. After reading it, the book went into Lin Moyu's hands. At this time, Dongfang Li opened his mouth and asked, Divine N, are you really sure it's a soul-devouring beast? Meng Anwen hummed, it is undoubtedly a soul-devouring beast, and it can be completely matched with the information in the book. Dongfang Yi frowned at this time, this is a great disaster, Divine N, what do you plan to do? Meng Anwen said, I have already thought of a countermeasure just now, but I still need to discuss it with the State Lord of the East. I originally thought that this would be a great disaster. But now that I have read the information, I found that it may also be a great opportunity. Dongfang Yi raised his eyebrows. A great opportunity, how can this be said? He hadn't read the information, he just listened to Dongfang Li talk about it and knew the horror of the soul-devouring beast. Could it be that the information recorded something different? Dongfang Li had read this information before, but he didn't see any great opportunity. Please tell me in detail, Divine N. Dongfang Yi asked repeatedly. Lin Moyu also finished reading the whole book at this time, and exhaled lightly, misfortune and fortune depend on each other, perhaps it really will be an opportunity. Meng Anwen's words were convincing enough, and now that Lin Moyu said so, it was basically confirmed. Dongfang Yi also flipped through the information about the soul-devouring beast, but he didn't see anything from it. Dongfang Li said in a deep voice, I have also read the information about the soul-devouring beast before, but I didn't find anything. I don't know how Divine and in General Lin determined that this would be an opportunity. Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu, Xiao Yu, you can say it. 29. Their answers should be the same. Lin Mo nodded, this has to start with the history of the human race. Lin Mo had read some not-so-secret information in the Royal Secret Vault, as well as a large amount of information in the Academy, combined with his own experience and, friendly, exchanges with Antares. Now his knowledge of human history and the entire high-level knowledge far exceeds ordinary people. Even many god-level powerhouses are not as good as him. On the contrary, some basic knowledge, such as what kind of copies are available, has become Lin Mo's most lacking knowledge. Thousands of years ago, the human race was divided and ruled separately. Within the territory of my divine Shah Empire alone, it could be divided into hundreds of countries. The large ones occupy the land of 1 or 2 provinces, and the small ones only occupy a city. Other countries are even more so. Some even have only a few villages, and thousands of people can form a country. Although there are many god-level powerhouses, internal strife continues, which can be described as a mess. Lin Mo spoke slowly and methodically, his voice like musical notes, ethereal and far-reaching. In this silent night, it seemed a little ethereal. Listening to Lin Mo's narration, Shu Han felt that Lin Mo's voice was very pleasant. She gradually became a little fascinated, and murmured in her heart, "Why didn't I realize before that Lin Shui's voice is so nice?" Looking at Lin Mo's eloquent appearance, Dongfang Yao thought of Lin Mo standing in front of her in the decaying corpse world. For some reason, Lin Mo's image seemed to be taller. Just as Lin Mo said, in that age that has been buried in the years, known as the chaotic time and space, the human race was truly a mess. At that time, the soul-devouring beast appeared and did not receive attention from the human race. By the time it was discovered, it was too late. The soul-devouring beast had grown up and possessed great power, enough to compete with god-level powerhouses. In the continuous years of war, the human race paid a great price and finally won the victory. At that time, almost all the god-level powerhouses of the human race died. After the soul-devouring beast disaster, abyss demons and dragons descended. If it hadn't been for the sudden birth of a group of geniuses in the human race at that time, the human race would have been slaughtered by the abyss demons and dragons long ago. That group of geniuses quickly emerged in just over a decade, from ordinary job changers to gods. They supported a sky for the human race and bought enough time for the human race. The human race also took this opportunity to recuperate and slowly recover. This is a piece of history that has been buried in time. Almost few people know. The birth of that group of geniuses is related to the soul-devouring beast. The soul-devouring beast hides in the soul, devours the soul, and devours all flesh and blood power. But if it can be eliminated before it takes shape, then its soul power will be integrated into the soul of the professional. The soul is enhanced, and the attributes will also be enhanced. The probability of awakening talent and professional sublimation during job transfer will be much greater. That's how that group of geniuses were born. The soul-devouring beast, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how it was born either. It can live in the depths of the human soul and devour everything. It can have multiple choices, or it can devour slowly like Gao Yang. It is also possible to directly kill people and devour the soul. But in the end, it will break out of the body. Chapter 517 You little brat, what dog sh*t luck are you having? After listening to Lin Mo's analysis, everyone felt that this possibility was real. Meng Anwen said, there are many benefits to a strong soul, not only the improvement of attributes and qualifications, but more importantly, the improvement of comprehension. The improvement of comprehension is crucial. If comprehension is not enough, even if the attributes are strong and the talent is awakened, it will be useless. Everyone present, except Dongfang Yao, knew about the hidden attribute of comprehension. The strength of comprehension is very important, but it is closely related to the strength of the soul. Dongfang Yi thought for a while, but how can we eliminate the soul-devouring beast in the bud? According to normal methods, if the soul-devouring beast does not actively expose itself, it will be difficult for us to find it. I'm afraid that after a long time, the soul-devouring beast will have enough time again. Meng Anwen chuckled, I had such concerns before, but I was actually a little worried. After the soul-devouring beast parasitizes, its growth cycle is not short, and we have enough time to deploy. Lin Mo said, most soul-devouring beasts will use a relatively gentle growth method. We have 3 to 5 years to prepare, which should be enough. After the soul-devouring beast parasitizes, there will be 2 growth methods. One is more violent, and its performance is like Gao Yang. The other is very gentle, and people will not feel anything. The soul-devouring beast will lurk in the soul, slowly absorbing soul power, cultivation energy, and experience gained from killing monsters. In short, everything that a professional can obtain is its food. It just eats a little bit, not too much, and it is difficult to detect. The 2 growth methods take half a year in the short term and 3 to 5 years in the long term. Gao Yang's soul-devouring beast is an example of violent growth, but it is a pity that Gao Yang himself is not strong enough and lacks strength. If it is replaced by a higher-level professional above the second rank, the soul-devouring beast parasitized in its body will be much stronger. In historical records, there have been god-level soul-devouring beasts. There were even god-level powerhouses who were parasitized, and eventually their souls were eaten up by the soul-devouring beast, and even the body of the god-level powerhouse was controlled by the soul-devouring beast. Seeing that Meng Anwen and Lin Mo were so confident, Dong Fangyi knew that they must have corresponding countermeasures. Then what do we need to do? Meng Anwen said, this matter is no small matter, and it will involve a lot. The layout to be done will also be very large. Perhaps after this layout is completed, in the future years, many geniuses will emerge from the Divine Sha Empire. Lin Mo said, first control the situation, and do not allow the soul-devouring beast to overflow to other countries. This opportunity must rot in our own stomachs. Dong Fangyi immediately became excited. As the lord of the country, if he can make such achievements in his career of ruling the Divine Sha Empire, he will definitely be remembered by history. He seemed to see the scene of the Divine Sha Empire, with geniuses emerging in large numbers, looking down on the entire human race. Several people began to discuss how to lay out the plan. First of all, the news of the soul-devouring beast must not be leaked. Gao Yang is not the first, nor will he be the last. There must be others who have experienced similar situations to Gao Yang, not necessarily people from Jiangning Academy. It may be people who have accepted Gao Yang, or it may be people living near Gao Yang in Shihai City. No one knows how many soul-devouring beasts came out with Gao Yang. If anyone has experienced something similar to Gao Yang, they must be found one by one and quietly controlled. Meng Anwen said, I am going to the place where Gao Yang and the others were trained. According to records, the things needed to deal with the soul-devouring beast should be there. Lin Mo, I'll go to the primordial battlefield and chat with it. Meng Anwen summoned the Divine Sha Tower, I'll send you over. Countless runes were densely intertwined in the air, forming a teleportation array. This time, there was no need to find a safe place, and the teleportation array was set up in the blink of an eye. Waving his hand to set up the array was just a small thing for Meng Anwen. But in the eyes of others, it was shocking. As the only dual god-level existence in alchemy and formation in the entire human race, Meng Anwen's strength is astonishing. Lin Mo flew into the teleportation array and headed to the primordial battlefield. Meng Anwen said, Lord Dongfang, just follow what we said, and I will trouble you with the outside affairs. Dongfang Yi clasped his fists, and Shen, don't worry, leave this to us, and we will definitely handle it properly. Meng Anwen also left. He was going to the place where Gao Yang had an accident to look for clues. 30. At this moment, the eastern sky was already faintly bright, and a dazzling light pierced through the firmament. Both Dongfang Yi and Dongfang Li were filled with excitement. Dongfang Yi felt that he was about to be famous in history and recorded in the annals. Perhaps, among the emperors of the Divine Sha Empire throughout the ages, he could be ranked among the best. Dongfang Yao asked with doubt, Father, Lin Moyu said he was going to the eternal battlefield to chat with it. Who is it? Dongfang Yao had also been to the eternal battlefield and couldn't imagine who there was to chat with there. Dongfang Yi and Dongfang Li were also stumped by Dongfang Yao's question. Indeed, who could one chat with in the eternal battlefield? Lin Moyu was only level 53, so he could only go to the upper space. Upper space. The two suddenly realized something, and their faces showed horror at the same time. Their expressions were extremely exaggerated, even more so than when they had just heard about the soul-devouring beast. Dongfang Li trembled all over. No way, could it really be it? Divine General Lin actually has the qualification to talk to it. Dongfang Yi wasn't much better than Dongfang Li, perhaps Divine General Lin really has that qualification. The two seemed to be speaking in riddles, and Dongfang Yao was even more puzzled. Father, Grandpa Li, what are you talking about? Dongfang Li shook his head, can't say, that's a very terrifying existence. Seeking flowers Dongfang Yao didn't think much of it, how terrifying can it be? Dongfang Yi snorted lightly, Yaoer, shut up. Dongfang Yao was startled. Dongfang Yi rarely snorted at her like that. Dongfang Li smiled, that existence could kill me as easily as killing a dog. It could probably wipe me out with a breath. Dongfang Yi also added, don't mention you and me, even killing Meng Anwen and Bai Yiyuan wouldn't be difficult. Dongfang Yi continued, Divine General Lin is truly unfathomable. Let's not think too much and just handle things according to the plan. Yes, handle things according to the plan. This time, it might be a great opportunity for our Divine Sha Empire. In the eternal battlefield, Lin Moyu found himself not far from the core area. If he flew at full speed, he could reach the center in at most 4 hours. The lightning undead wings opened, turning Lin Moyu into a streak of lightning, whistling away. The ground rapidly receded in his vision. Before long, Lin Moyu had already rushed into the core area. Half an hour later, a cry came from the sky. The ancient Luan bird flew from the sky with intense flames. But this time, the ancient Luan bird didn't attack Lin Moyu, but kept screaming at him. It seemed to be challenging Lin Moyu to see who could fly faster. Lin Moyu shook his head, I admit defeat, I can't beat you. The ancient Luan bird let out a crisp and loud scream, looking arrogant. Lin Moyu chuckled. On the day he chatted with Antares, the ancient Luan bird had also come, circling around them. Although there had been some unpleasantness in the past, it was later dropped. The ancient Luan bird flew with Lin Moyu for a while, but seemed to think Lin Moyu was flying too slowly. Suddenly, it flew under Lin Moyu and held him up. At this time, all the flames on its body were retracted, and it didn't burn Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was extremely surprised, You're actually willing to let me sit on your back. The ancient Luan bird cried twice, as if saying, Who told you to be so slow? Then, its speed suddenly increased, drawing a black fire line in the sky. The journey that would have originally taken 4 hours was completed by the ancient Luan bird in just 30 minutes. Antares raised an eyelid, Why are you here again? Lin Moyu said, Some things have happened in the human world, and I've come to ask you for some advice. What questions? Antares didn't refuse. Lin Moyu said, A soul-devouring beast has been discovered in the human world, and I wanted to ask. What? Antares abruptly interrupted Lin Moyu, What kind of dogshit luck do you have, that you can even encounter a soul-devouring beast? Lin Moyu was stunned. Was encountering a soul-devouring beast considered good luck? And what the hell was dogshit luck? Damn it. Chapter 518, Humanity Needs Top Experts. Antares' emotions became agitated, and even its usually still wings fluttered, stirring up a gale. It spoke and cursed at the same time, cursing Lin Moyu for his good luck. Lin Moyu was somewhat dumbfounded. What was wrong with this guy? Antares, can you calm down? Lin Moyu shouted loudly, but his voice was too small. It wasn't until Antares finished complaining that it finally stopped. Antares breathed heavily, I'm saying, why is your luck so good? It's already one thing to transfer to a hidden class that this old one has never seen before, but your talent is also so strong, you've obtained 2 primordial runes and you even have 2 intermediate godhoods. And now you've encountered the soul-devouring beast being born. Lin Moyu was already speechless. This guy was talking to himself, and hadn't gotten to the point after talking for so long. Lin Moyu said unhappily, Can you please explain yourself clearly? Antares finally calmed down a bit, The soul-devouring beast is actually a great opportunity, it just depends on whether you can seize it. If you can't seize it, then it might be a great disaster. 553. Lin Moyu said, Our human race experienced a soul-devouring beast disaster 1,000 years ago, you should be clear about that change. This time, we will definitely not let the disaster break out again. My teacher and I have already analyzed it, so I've come to ask you, do you know of any ways to deal with the soul-devouring beast? Antares chuckled, This old one naturally knows the method, but... Lin Moyu thought it was going to play coy again, and couldn't help but frown slightly. However, Antares shook its head, All right, I won't joke with you. There are 2 ways to deal with the soul-devouring beast. One is to use soul fusion potion, and have everyone take it. This way, the soul-devouring beast hidden in the soul will die, and the soul-devouring beast's soul power will become a great tonic for the host. This method has many benefits for your human race, but it doesn't have any benefits for you. Lin Moyu blurted out without thinking, Isn't that a good thing? Naturally, it's not a bad thing, but there's a problem. Antares leaned its head over, Tell me, which is more powerful, 100 level 85 top-tier professionals, or 1 level 90 god-level expert? The answer to this question was obvious. Naturally, one God-level expert is more powerful. 100 top-tier professionals tied together, although they can cause no small trouble for a level 90 God-level expert. They can even join forces to confront them head-on. But God-level experts aren't wooden stakes, standing there without moving. A God-level expert who reaches level 90 has a large increase in all attributes, and their speed and strength far exceed top-tier professionals. As long as they take some effort, they can definitely defeat the top-tier professionals. Antares looked at Lin Moyu with its big eyes. For a race, it's most important to have a top-tier expert appear. Even if everyone in your human race becomes God level, it's not as good as having a transcendent God. The higher the level, the greater the gap between each level. You should be able to understand this principle. Lin Moyu pondered the meaning of Antares' words. You're right. But transcendent gods are too difficult. The 3 ways you mentioned to become a transcendent god are not simple. Looking at himself in Antares' eyes, Lin Moyu seemed to guess what Antares was trying to express. Antares said, actually, it's not difficult, it's not difficult. There's a very good opportunity right now, and it's also an opportunity that belongs to you. 31. If you can grasp A. The meaning was self-evident. If he could grasp it, he would have a chance to become a transcendent. Lin Mo thought of this and felt a surge of excitement in his heart. Becoming a transcendent was his pursuit, his long-cherished goal. Antares knew that he had aroused Lin Mo's interest. The temptation to become a transcendent completely moved Lin Mo, and a smile appeared in his eyes. The second method to deal with soul-devouring beasts is to set up a soul fusion grand formation. Don't you humans have a divine-level formation master? Let him set up the formation, and you can be the formation eye yourself. Once the formation is activated, the soul-devouring beasts within the formation will be annihilated. But the soul power after their death will gather on you and become your nourishment. Lin Mo understood that using the soul fusion grand formation to eliminate the soul-devouring beasts would concentrate everyone's opportunities on himself alone. It would turn the possibility of 100 or 1,000 divine levels being born into the possibility of himself becoming a transcendent. This might be unfair to many people, depriving them of the possibility of becoming divine level. But for the entire human race, it would be beneficial and harmless. Antares said, the enhancement of your origin rune attributes has an upper limit, right? What determines this limit is not only your physical body but also your soul. If you want to become a transcendent, both your physical body and soul must reach sufficient strength. Originally, you would only come into contact with this issue after your 3rd job change, but now, I will be merciful and tell you in advance. Antares seemed a little happy. As for why he was so happy, only he knew. However, Lin Mo had already remembered his words. Without much thought, Lin Mo already had an answer in his mind. Tell me how to set up the soul fusion grand formation. Antares glanced at Lin Mo askance. Is it useful to tell you? You are not a divine-level formation master. This meant directly saying, you don't know anything, it's useless to tell you. Seeing that Lin Mo had taken the bait, Antares finally revealed his true colors. Moreover, don't you think you should pay a price for such a precious thing? 3 deals, as long as you agree to complete the next 3 deals for me, I will tell you how to set up the soul fusion grand formation. I can also tell you the configuration method of the soul fusion potion. Am I not very generous? This was the temptation to become a transcendent. Antares looked at Lin Mo with a wicked smile, not afraid that Lin Mo would not take the bait. Lin Mo thought for a moment. What you said makes sense. It's useless for you to tell me, and this thing is a bit expensive. I can't afford it. Antares was stunned. What do you mean? Lin Mo said, literal meaning, I can't afford it, so I can only give up. I have seen the soul fusion potion in the human race's ancient books, and I can figure it out myself, so I won't bother you. Thank you for telling me the answer. Lin Mo made a gesture to leave. Wait. Antares immediately stopped Lin Mo. How could the development of this matter be so wrong? It was not the same as he had expected. Antares said in a deep voice, don't you want to become a transcendent anymore? Lin Mo nodded. I do, but your price is too high. I can't afford it. 3 deals, as could be seen from the trip to Thunder Burial Canyon. Antares, deals were definitely not simple. If it were someone else, they might not be able to complete it even if they risked their lives. What's more, Lin Mo heard a different meaning from his words. In fact, Lin Mo really wanted the Soul Fusion Grand Formation, not only the Soul Fusion Grand Formation, but also the Soul Fusion Potion. What Soul Fusion Potion did the human race have? The ancient books only said that there was a potion that could kill the soul-devouring beasts, but there was no recipe at all. So, Lin Mo was just a one-half Antares. Sure enough, as soon as he made a gesture to leave, Antares immediately stopped him. From Antares' eyes, he saw a trace of imperceptible panic. Antares said coldly, "3 deals should not be difficult for you, eh?" Lin Mo shook his head, difficult, too difficult. I might lose my life. If I lose my life, I can forget about becoming a transcendent, eh? Antares 2.1 thought for a moment, then how about 2 deals? Lin Mo still shook his head, no, your deal is too difficult. I almost died in Thunder Burial Canyon last time, think about it again, 2 deals are already my bottom line, Antares was still trying hard. But his words carried a little bit of guilt, which was keenly grasped by Lin Mo. Lin Mo knew that the price could still be negotiated. The two sides went back and forth. Lin Mo repeatedly said that he wanted to leave, but was stopped by Antares. Antares' bottom line dropped again and again. When the two sides finally reached a deal, Antares' huge nose kept puffing out thick air. Lin Mo left with the recipe for the Soul Fusion Potion and the method of setting up the Soul Fusion Grand Formation, feeling very satisfied. Antares realized that he seemed to have been fooled. Lin Mo clearly wanted these 2 things very much. The human race did not have a recipe for the Soul Fusion Potion at all. Lin Mo was just getting something for nothing. Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Antares muttered to himself, unable to figure it out. Chapter 519, It's hard to say who got the better deal. Antares proposed the price of 3 deals, and was rejected by Lin Mo. Then the price went all the way down. After a series of friendly and cordial bargaining. Finally, the final price was reached with a deposit for the next deal. Antares paid for the Soul Fusion Grand Formation and the Soul Fusion Potion, and obtained Lin Mo's deposit for the next deal. Lin Mo promised Antares to go to the Dragon King's Hall dungeon after his 3rd job change to obtain the Dragon Ball located in the Dragon King's Hall for him. In fact, Lin Mo was just talking empty words. He only paid a promise and did not pay anything else. He got what he wanted for nothing. Antares did not realize until Lin Mo left that he seemed to have gained nothing. After figuring it out, he murmured, this guy is really shrewd, but I didn't lose out either. The Soul Fusion Grand Formation was originally meant to be given to him. I didn't expect the soul-devouring beasts to really appear, A Transcendent is really going to appear in this world. I'm about to be free too, Antares' eyes flickered with a gleam. If Lin Mo saw it, Lin Mo would definitely suspect whether he had lost out. Perhaps even this promise was redundant. Great Swamp Secret Realm, all the trial secret realms of Jiangning Academy. The monster levels in the secret realm are all below level 20, which is a low-level secret realm for level 29 newcomers to try out. This secret realm is very safe, and nothing has happened in hundreds of years. But since Gao Yang's accident, this secret realm has been sealed off. It was not until a few hours ago that Meng Anwen and others came, and this secret realm welcomed new guests again. Meng Anwen did not disturb anyone at Jiangning Academy. He used his own method to bring everyone directly into the secret realm. God Sha Tower has many magical abilities, and Meng Anwen only used a small part of it. Breaking through a mere secret realm was not a difficult task for him. Gao Yang had recovered at this time. Divine Physician Shu found a divine level healer, and after a few top-level healing techniques, Gao Yang's hands and feet quickly grew back. At this time, except for the fact that his strength had not fully recovered, his actions were no different from ordinary people. At this time, a group of people was advancing rapidly in the dungeon. Meng Anwen pointed his finger, and a ball of light lit up on Gao Yang and Shu Han, and then the second hand had the ability to fly. Lead the way, Meng Anwen said in a low voice. Yes, sir. Gao Yang said nothing and flew forward directly. The secret realm was not big, and soon they came to the place where Gao Yang had the accident. 32. Gao Yang pointed to the small swamp under him, it's right here. Just looking at it with the eyes, there was nothing unusual. Meng Anwen pointed his finger, and the Divine Sha Tower appeared in the air. A beam of light fell, and all the mud and rocks in the swamp flew away. The swamp was only a little over a meter deep, and as a secret realm for novice trials, it was extremely safe. Even if a person was to sink into the swamp, there would be no danger to life. The biggest function of the secret realm is to cultivate the ability of the students to cooperate with each other. The swamp quickly reached the bottom, and nothing was found. Meng Anwen pondered for a moment, snorted softly, and cast a few hand seals. The divine shot tower suddenly grew larger, and a huge suction force erupted, emptying all the mud and rocks in the nearby swamps. Dozens of large and small swamps revealed their bottoms. This time, Meng Anwen did it more thoroughly, scraping the bottom several times and removing a large amount of mud and rocks. At this point, several people saw something was wrong. Shu Han said softly, "The bottom of this swamp seems to have another space." The bottom of the swamp was not mud and rocks, and there were several places that looked like mirrors, appearing translucent. Through these areas, it was clear that there was still space at the bottom. Shu Yaoshan took out a bottle of potion, pointed his finger, and a few drops of potion flew out and landed on everyone's eyelids. Everyone's vision instantly increased greatly, as if they could see through things, seeing what was under the ground. Shu Han exclaimed, "I see it, there are still many soul-devouring beasts below." Gao Yang also saw it, so that's what it is. His eyes revealed fear, but also deep hatred. For the past 6 months, he had been living a life worse than death. Later, he learned that he had been parasitized by a monster called the soul-devouring beast. Meng Anwen said, "Gao Yang must have accidentally broken a hole in the bottom of the swamp that day, which led to the outflow of the soul-devouring beast. Don't touch them for now. Later, I will completely seal off this secret realm, and no one is allowed to enter. Let's look around first. According to the records, the thing to deal with the soul-devouring beast should be nearby." Shu Yaoshan whispered, "All things in the world generate and overcome each other. Near poisonous things, there will be things that restrain the poisonous things. It seems that this soul-devouring beast is no exception." The Guangxia Tower hummed, and all the mud and rocks returned to their original positions, as if nothing had been moved. The four began to look around, all four flying in the air, not hiding their tracks. This secret realm has existed for countless years. After Jiangning Academy designated it as a trial secret realm for new students, several batches of students would enter every year. Before entering, Gao Yang repeatedly read the information about the secret realm, and knew everything about the secret realm like the back of his hand. But he never expected that at the bottom of the swamp, there would be the nest of the soul-devouring beast. After searching for a long time, there seemed to be no discovery. Suddenly, Shu Han shouted, "This thing seems a little unusual." Everyone flew over and saw the unusual thing Shu Han was talking about. On a protruding stone, there were some pink, shell-like things growing. This was not the seaside, and it was very unusual for shells to grow on rocks. Shu Yaoshan took off some shells from the air and started experimenting on the spot. He directly took out an experimental table, which was filled with various bottles and jars. Shu Han retreated more than 10 meters away without showing any signs, and also signaled Gao Yang to retreat. Gao Yang was puzzled. "What's wrong?" Shu Han said, "When my grandfather does experiments, you have to stay away, it will be dangerous." "It will be dangerous?" Gao Yang didn't understand. Shu Han pointed to Meng Anwen. Not only them, but Meng Anwen also retreated a long way, even farther than them. Boom! The explosion was sudden, and the sky was full of smoke and dust from the potion explosion. Shu Han quickly covered his nose. "Don't breathe, step back." Gao Yang immediately did so, retreating far away. Then, explosions occurred one after another. The power was not very great, but each time it could explode into a sky full of smoke and dust. Gao Yang saw with his own eyes that when the smoke and dust fell on the ground, many flowers and plants on the ground withered and died. Shu Han explained, "Grandpa often formulates some toxic drugs when doing 327 drug experiments. It is also possible that the formulation is not successful, causing an explosion. For safety, we should not get close." Gao Yang already understood this principle. Not only flowers and plants, but he also saw that the monsters in the secret realm, after touching the smoke and dust, convulsed a few times and fell down and died in less than 5 seconds. This was not a medicine god at all, but a poison god. In addition to curing diseases and saving people, the medicine god can naturally poison and kill enemies. Whether it is medicine or poison is just a thought between them. Gao Yang murmured, "What a powerful poison." Shu Han said softly, Grandpa's poison is also very powerful. Gao Yang nodded quickly, it was indeed very powerful. After a long time, Shu Yaoshan finally stopped the experiment and put away the experimental table. I have tested it, these shell-like things should be some kind of ore. These substances have a special component that can affect the soul. A gleam of joy flashed in Meng Anwen's eyes, that's right, it should be this thing. Shu Yaoshan said, although it can affect the soul, it is still far from killing the soul-devouring beast. Meng Anwen said, then we have to rely on you to formulate the potion. A gleam of light flashed in Shu Yaoshan's eyes, it has been a long time since this old man has encountered such an interesting thing, I will leave this matter to this old man, and I will definitely formulate the corresponding potion. At this time, Meng Anwen's communicator vibrated, Meng Anwen glanced at it, and a hint of joy appeared on his face, Xiao Yu is back. The divine Sha Tower intertwined a teleportation array, and the next moment Lin Moyu had already appeared in the secret realm. Chapter 520 The times have changed, and people's hearts have changed. Meng Anwen asked, how is it? What did that one say? It gave me a formation, saying that this formation can solve the soul-devouring beast. Lin Moyu took out a formation diagram and handed it to Meng Anwen. This was given by Antares, who said that a god-level formation master could understand it. Anyway, there was a lot of gibberish on it, and Lin Moyu couldn't understand it at all. Formation. Meng Anwen took the formation diagram. The formation diagram was extremely simple and exuded an aura of vastness. As a god-level formation master, Meng Anwen's mental power moved and connected with the formation diagram. In an instant, the formation diagram bloomed with brilliant light, shining brightly. A large number of complex and incomprehensible runes flew out, some fell into Meng Anwen's spiritual world, and the other part appeared in the air. The runes were intertwined and entangled with each other, showing a magnificent formation. Meng Anwen was stunned for a while, and it took a long time to accept the information of the formation. As for others, they couldn't understand it at all. They only felt that this formation was extraordinary, and once it was activated, it would be earth-shattering. After a long while, the light on the formation diagram disappeared, and Meng Anwen also woke up, exhaling a long breath. What a powerful formation. Lin Moyu asked, Teacher, can it be arranged? Meng Anwen nodded, it should be possible, but it still needs to be studied carefully. Shu Yaoshan said, I also need to study the medicine carefully. It's just right, we will work together and we will definitely solve the problem of the soul-devouring beast. 33. Meng Anwen's eyes flickered slightly as he glanced at Lin Moyu. Let's go back. He commanded the divine Sha Tower, leading everyone away from the secret realm. Meng Anwen casually sealed off the secret realm, preventing anyone from entering. Shu Yaoshan and Shu Han returned to their medicine god residence. Meng Anwen then brought Lin Moyu and Gao Yang back to the White God courtyard. Bai Yiyuan was dozing, and said softly, Xiao Yu, your friend is healed. Lin Moyu nodded, he's healed. White God. Gao Yang suddenly exclaimed, dropping to his knees with a thud, almost kowtowing to Bai Yiyuan. He trembled all over, extremely excited. He cried out in amazement, I never thought I would see Lord White God in my lifetime, it would be worth dying now. His appearance startled Bai Yiyuan, Xiao Yu, what's wrong with your friend? Lin Moyu shook his head and sighed, he's always like this, ignore him. Meng Anwen said, your friend shouldn't be so excited since he just recovered. Lao Bai, send him to Sha Jing Academy to stay first, Xiao Yu and I have something to discuss. Meng Anwen looked serious, and Bai Yiyuan knew something was up. He got up and dragged Gao Yang away. Kid, come with me. Lin Moyu also said, go to Sha Jing Academy and stay first, I'll arrange everything else. Gao Yang was still immersed in excitement, and was dragged away by Bai Yiyuan in a daze. After the two left, Lin Moyu looked at Meng Anwen, Teacher Meng, you should have seen it, right? Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu, I saw a rough idea, tell me yourself. Not only did Meng Anwen have something to say, but Lin Moyu also had something to say. Lin Moyu said, besides the soul fusion array, Antares actually gave me the soul fusion potion. Meng Anwen nodded, continue. Lin Moyu poured him a cup of tea. Antares said that this array might give me a chance to lay the foundation to become a transcendent god. Meng Anwen's eyebrows twitched violently a few times, but he didn't say anything. He looked calm, but his slightly trembling fingers betrayed his inner excitement. Lin Moyu repeated Antares' original words, and Meng Anwen chewed on them carefully. When it comes to being meticulous, Lin Moyu knew he was not as good as Meng Anwen. Meng Anwen could always analyze many details from a few words. After pondering for a moment, Meng Anwen tried to suppress his slightly agitated mood and took a sip of hot tea before speaking. It's right, no matter how many god-level existences there are, they aren't as good as one transcendent god. Since it says that the soul fusion array can help you lay the foundation to become a transcendent god, then the teacher will do everything to help you. And I can feel from its words that it seems to really hope that you can become a transcendent god. This soul fusion array, even if you don't want it, it will force it on you. Lin Moyu smiled wryly. I felt something was wrong before, it seems I'm not smart enough. Meng Anwen chuckled, you are smart enough. But this array is too complicated, and everyone's soul has a limit. You can't use all the soul-devouring beasts to strengthen your soul, too much is as bad as too little. So we have to prepare for both possibilities, prepare the soul fusion array, and also prepare the soul fusion potion. Lin Moyu took out the soul fusion potion formula and handed it to Meng Anwen. This is the soul fusion potion formula, I'll listen to the teacher in everything. Meng Anwen nodded, then we will set up this soul fusion array within the scope of the Divine Sha Empire. At that time, you will be the core of the array, allowing you to absorb enough soul power. The rest will take the soul fusion potion, which can also create many geniuses for the Divine Sha Empire. As he spoke, Meng Anwen checked the soul fusion potion formula. Although he was not a pharmacist, he knew some things through analogy. The main ingredient of the soul fusion potion was a material called red stone. Red stone was the red shell that grew on rocks in the secret realm. Lin Moyu said, Teacher, I don't think it's good for the Divine Sha Empire to create too many geniuses. Meng Anwen suddenly looked up at Lin Moyu, with a question in his eyes, why do you say that? Lin Moyu thought for a while, organizing his words, I think that for professionals, perseverance, resilience, and character are more important than aptitude and talent. I have seen people with ordinary aptitude but noble character who are not afraid of life and death. I have also seen people with excellent family backgrounds, but who are greedy for life and afraid of death. And these people are easily tempted, and even if they grow up, they may become puppets of the devil. Meng Anwen did not speak, but was thinking about Lin Moyu's words. Lin Moyu continued, I know that the teacher hopes that everyone in the Divine Sha Empire will be like a dragon, but it is different now than before. Back then, during the soul-devouring beast disaster, the demons and dragons had not yet come. There was no such thing as the demon worship society, and the survival of our entire human race was threatened. When the nest is overturned, no egg remains intact. In that case, the human race will naturally be united like never before. But now. Lin Moyu didn't say any more, some things could be pointed out, and he believed that Meng Anwen could understand. After a long time, Meng Anwen sighed for a long time, indeed, you are right. Times have changed, and people's hearts have changed. So what are you going to do? Lin Moyu said, there are quite a few soul-devouring beasts, I certainly can't digest the soul power alone. Perhaps the excess soul power can be given to certain people. Such as you, Teacher Bai, Teacher Yan, my sister, Yi Yi, Gao Yong, etc. I know my idea is a bit selfish, but I have to be a little selfish. Meng Anwen frowned, then I need to make some changes to the array, and you will have to operate it completely, your pressure will be great. Lin Moyu knew that Meng Anwen had accepted his suggestion, and he was relieved. His statement was a bit selfish, and he was afraid that Meng Anwen would not be able to accept it. But fortunately, Meng Anwen was still very open-minded. Lin Moyu said, as long as the teacher can finish modifying the array, just leave the rest to me. As for the soul fusion potion, it can be used as a backup, and we will hand it over to Senior Yaoshan after we are ready, and let him develop the corresponding potion. The two discussed for a while and finalized the matter. This array was too large, and it had to cover the entire Divine Sha Empire. The node selection of the array needed to be carefully calculated. Monos. This aspect was very likely to involve the army, and with the identities of Meng Anwen and Bai Yiyuan, it shouldn't be a problem. Xu Yaoshan had already returned to start researching the corresponding drugs, but Lin Moyu had seen the potion formula and it was extremely complicated. It would be difficult for him to develop the same soul fusion potion. On the other hand, the royal family, which was in charge of national administration, had already taken action. Orders were issued from the palace and sent to all provinces and cities. Many high-level officials of the empire took action and went to various parts of the country. especially Jiangning province, which was placed under martial law and silence. A large number of personnel were in action, secretly investigating and finding out all the people with abnormal bodies in the past 6 months. After investigation, it was found that there were indeed many such people. Especially in Shihai City, where Gaoyang was located, there were many. The empire took them over and gave them centralized treatment. All actions were carried out in silence, trying not to reveal any news. The students of Jiangning Academy who were in other places all received notices, asking them to return to the Academy army as soon as possible. No matter what they were doing, they had to put down what they were doing and go back. Lin Moyu came to Kuncheng again, and met Feng Ziliu and his party again.